And we're on episode 47. Boys, welcome back.
Hey.
Arthur, George, great to see you guys again.
Great
It
to
feels
be
like
back.
we were here yesterday.
Well, yeah,
Great to be
always good
back.
to be back. Yeah.
I also heard it was someone's birthday, was it?
Whose birthday is
I
that?
don't know, someone's birthday last night.
The big
Yes.
fella. The big
Yeah.
fella.
Big
here.
It was my birthday
There
on
you go,
Saturday.
man.
The big 4-8.
Big 4-8.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm almost at the half century.
Nearly.
Although if
nearly.
you look at my beard, you'd say I'm probably turning 58. But
I've got
once
you
I put
covered.
the boot polish in, it cuts a few years off.
I've got you covered, brother. I've got you covered. I've got you covered.
I'm catching you, mate.
Catch you,
I'm
catch
catching
you,
you.
catch you.
We wanted to surprise you with Lee Hatchpentalis to come in and give you a happy birthday. But he saw a picture of Alan Jones and then he walked out.
Ran
stormed
away.
out, so,
It was just my cousin. It was just my cousin. You didn't have to run away.
Oh,
Lee
Angry
Hatchpentalis.
man, he's an angry man.
Very angry man.
thanks for that, boys.
No worries.
George, where's round 19?
It's in the can, Nicola.
mate.
It's in the can.
How about we jump straight into Controversy Corner?
Ooh.
A few things to talk about. Let's start with the Rugby League Players Association, the RLPA. Now, as we know, there's a strike at the moment, a media ban on players. They are allowed to speak to the media on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays and Tuesdays, not any other day. They've upheld that over the weekend, so players are speaking to the media today, and they will be tomorrow. And Daddy Cherry Evans has stated that he will do a speech after the game on Wednesday night, Origin 3. Thank God for that. Because I think if he looked back in 10 years and realised that he should have done it, that would be a regret. So I'm glad he's doing that. It's his moment. He's the captain. It's his moment. He shouldn't be giving that up for anybody. But yeah, I don't know if you guys know any different, but to the best of my knowledge, there's been no progress yet, no deal made between the two parties.
No. Apparently they put the proposal out and the NRL sort of didn't tick off on any of them, apparently. So they're at a stalemate.
And the broadcasters are pissed.
Are they up here?
Yeah, we're hearing that now. Yeah, they're apparently they haven't come out public yet, or we would have seen it if they had. But a few of the power brokers have said that behind the scenes, they're not happy at all, and nor should they be. They're funding the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm led to believe, Nicola, is that the two power brokers just don't get along. Number one. I mean, they nearly came to blows. So that's how much they dislike each other. No, that's number one. Number two, you know what annoys me? They talk, and I see Clint Newton or hear him on the radio. They all talk, but they say nothing. Like they don't tell us what the real problem is.
Yeah.
What I'm led to believe, it's a power struggle at the moment.
It's unclear, isn't it? No one knows the details really.
Yeah.
But no one knows the details, the minor details, because I think that NRL has agreed to most things. But what they haven't agreed is the way the money gets distributed. Now, the RPL, whatever, the Players Union, they want complete and utter control of everything. And the NRL says, well, no, I'm not going to put millions and millions in a pot and not have any say about it. Okay, so and they don't want complete control. They say, well, let's get together and do a 50-50 thing. But it's a power struggle at the moment.
I'm going to be an arsehole here, right? I know that obviously it's a tough sport. They get injured. They carry those injuries for the rest of their lives. And what they're asking for is for, unless I'm mistaken, it's life after footy. It's the medical benefits and all that,
Yeah, I think they've come somehow to agreement about that as well.
When you look at it holistically, right? What the players do during the week, the training, that's a health benefit. That's keeping them healthy, is it not? The way they train, the way they're fed, because they are fed breakfast and lunch at their training during the day, right? That's doing nothing but keeping them healthy. So really, they're working 1 day a week.
They're working 1 day a week.
They're working 1 day a week when they play. They don't get injured at training. Very rarely.
It's contact.
Very rarely.
It does happen.
Right? Very rarely.
Yeah.
But they work 1 day a week. I mean, come on, man. Seriously.
Yeah, no, it's a dream job. Look, me personally, workers should get as much as they can because we've seen the other side of it, and a lot of issues happen. Super League, And like I said, that's how the game started, 1938, whatever.
But
it
here's my
was.
thing. Again, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know for a fact, but from what I've seen, this is never an issue for the players who plan for life after footy while they're playing.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
no. But there's a lot of players who do play 20 or 30 NRL games at best, and
that's
don't
it.
make too much money. But
Yeah.
I don't think the money's the issue here.
Yeah, it's never a money issue.
It's not the money is not an issue. It's all the other bits and pieces that go around it. And I'll say it again, it's a power play for both sides. It's a power
Let's
play.
just hope they can come to an agreement.
I
'cause
hope so.
The fans are losing out at the end of the day. The game's losing out.
Well, yeah. Look, we're losing out as a game at the end of the day, Nicola, and it's messy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
messy. I don't want to talk about the players' union. I really don't.
But isn't the player manager's role to help the player plan for life after footy?
you would
what's
think
their
so.
role? Is
If-
it just for them to get a deal to play football? No, they've got to help
if it
them
is, then
financially and
if
everything else.
if it is, then Artie, they don't do anything for 3 or 4
Exactly.
years. Right?
Exactly.
So yeah, you'd have to assume so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd organise insurance for them, cover and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I don't understand that.
I mean,
But-
they've also got to handle all the under the table payments as well, and they've got to launder all that money and stuff for the illegal payments.
You know what? At the end of the day,
exactly.
they've never been the players have never been looked after as much as they've been
No.
looked after now forever.
No.
So not that they shouldn't go for more or explore their options, but they can't be too upset. Now, what Clint Newton is going on about, we're not sure because he doesn't tell us. Okay, and maybe it's a ploy because both sides don't tell us. But again, it just seems to me that the two men can't get into a room and work this out. So it's obviously two things. They don't like each other, and like I said, what I've heard from other podcasts, it's definitely a power play at the moment.
Could we
so
be-
I don't know.
Could we be facing further strike action?
Oh,
I mean, could it get to the point where players refuse to play?
I don't think so. You know what? I suggest to you 9 players out of 10 have no idea, have heard about it, but have no idea what's going on. Maybe in every club, the senior players, your Daly Cherry Evans, I was going to say Latrell Mitchell, but I don't know about Latrell Mitchell, I don't know about too many things. But, your power players, maybe your Cookie. Every senior player in the club will know something, but the rest, I think they've got not much of an idea, nor do they care.
A lot of is one of the issues about the number of games. They want to get less
Okay.
games. Oh, that's one of them too. And
Yes.
another one was the international football, how the Australians get paid more than the in New Zealand and stuff. So they want to even that out a bit. So fair calls.
They do.
Fair
They
calls.
do. So
It's based on drawing. See, this is the entertainment business. It's based on drawing. You know what I mean? Like, who draws a bigger audience? Who draws a bigger?
So on the amount of games, the NRL wants to have exclusive right to add on a game a year at their will. Okay, and the union says, well, no, everything goes through.
They
through
want to
us.
get paid more money for less
Okay.
less work.
Well, you know what? It's funny. A lot of leagues are reducing. Hey, a soccer team is reducing in Europe games. No,
They're 20, 22 team comps.
yeah, and they play everybody twice.
They play 37, 38 games.
Yeah, plus Champions League, plus
Plus
They
knockout,
play close to 40 games, 45
local
games.
knockout comps.
Yeah. I just noticed.
Champions League, Europa League.
Yeah, I just noticed this week the NBA in America, the basketball, have just added another tournament in the middle of their year. So instead of playing 3 times a week, they're going to be playing 4 times a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, wow.
Because basketball's not an easy game. With soccer, they play basically every 3 days. They play twice a week.
Yeah,
every
yeah.
3 days. Yeah.
So you need a squad. You need to rotate your squad.
And they've got a big squad, yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. Look, I understand rugby league's a bit more physical, and I think
Of course. yeah.
I think it should be reduced, and the league wants 20 teams and to have 2 conferences. That's what they want.
Well, reduced by how much, George? What would you consider?
Oh, good question.
What about the NFL, though? They hardly play mini games. They
Yeah,
hardly
they
play
really
14, 15
Yeah,
games.
they really reduced their season. Yeah,
And they've got high-quality games, and the crowds. They've got money.
We can
pouring
start
out
by
of it.
taking away that all-star garbage at the start of every season.
Yeah, I agree too. Look, I'm not sure, Nicola. I do like the two conferences, but that's when they get up to 20 teams. I do like that, but put it this way, I wouldn't like to see any more games than we're playing now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, fair call.
and I'm a strong international supporter, but if that's going to affect the NRL, that much, well, I'm not. I'm not.
I think clearly it did in the first half of this season.
Yeah,
That was evident.
Clearly did. It clearly did. It's obvious it did.
Yeah.
But you know what isn't funny? That the games at the start of the year were highly competitive. Every game, and had good
It's
quality.
been a great season. It really. I mean, we've had our blowouts, but it's been a really good season.
Well, now we're dropping off a bit because two things: Origin, and they're getting a little bit tired. But now the running is going to come in, and it's all going to pick up again. So it's been an extraordinary.
We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Origin, in a strange but unsurprising twist, Fittler has stated that he doesn't know how he'll use Gutho in Origin 3. Now, I've got the comments here in front of me, what was said verbatim. It was on SEN radio.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said was, well, to be fair, I haven't got a plan for Gutherson. When you're picking that last position and we had two hookers, given our luck in the first two games from the point of view from some of our injuries, they've been in the outside backs. In nearly most games, we've had an injury in our outside backs. So Gutho covers anywhere from 5'8" to fullback. There's no plan for him.
Well, the plan is that
Some
he
people-
covers all the spots.
Yeah,
an
and he
injury.
does.
He's there for injury.
It's a good question, but if there is no injury, does he get used?
I said,
And how does he get used? You can't exactly use him at dummy half because we've already got two.
yeah, I said when I saw the team that Gutho won't get on.
Yeah.
I don't think Nico would have got on if someone didn't get injured. I don't think Gutho gets on, and we're going to talk about Origin, how I think he's going to use the players later on. But it doesn't surprise me him not having a clear plan, and that's half the problem.
It's scary.
Well, I can guarantee you that the guy his opposition has a clear plan. Not only a clear plan, he knows what minute they're going to go on because he knows who's going to get tired. Exactly, he knows all these players and exactly how these players feel. I just know that. No one has to tell me that.
I think, injuries are pretty rare to outside backs.
You know what?
But I think it's more of a HIA thing in the modern game.
Yeah.
It's another
Very
thing.
common for a player to go off for 15 minutes or maybe longer.
Yeah, and that's another thing. HIA is a consideration. But what happened the first two games of Origin this year is an anomaly. I mean, to get two centres basically knocked out or wiped out of the game is very strange.
This is just a hypothetical.
Very strange.
If Teddy, and I think Teddy's going to have his best game. I think he needs to.
I think so.
I think this could very well be his last game.
I don't think so.
If he has a shocker in the first half, do you put Gutho on fullback at second half?
They won't.
Hey,
You
never know.
Yeah.
A stronger coach would, but he won't.
Yeah.
He's the captain.
No, I
Teddy's
know.
the
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
and I suggest he'll play again.
And
He'll play on.
I think Teddy deserves that leeway as well. But I think if he has another average game, people will be saying, you know what, he's on the other side of 30 now. Maybe it's time.
Well,
Dylan Edwards is knocking on the door.
You know what I think they should really do? After this year, they should really look at the interchange and just increase it to 5 or 6 so they can carry a back, just in case someone gets injured.
I think New South Wales should overhaul the squad.
Because it made a big difference. If you
Let's
lose your
start.
back, you're gone. So it just destroys the game.
But that's
Just carry a back, and if you use him, you use him. Just have him for injury.
that's the beauty of attrition in footy as
Yeah,
well.
I
You
know,
know, it
that's
makes
true.
it.
That's true.
It's like we've seen it happen to Queensland, and and it's become a heroic story.
Yeah, exactly.
We just haven't done it lately.
Yes.
Yeah,
It says more about who we pick than
yeah.
Or who we are.
or who we are.
A couple of things on the Bulldogs, George. So unfortunately, it was a bit sad. Josh Reynolds announced his retirement today.
Yeah.
It was good to see him come back and play, but I think unselfishly he's done that to free up a spot in the 30 for maybe Toby Sexton or
Yeah, it was for Toby
yeah.
Sexton,
Toby, yeah.
But I don't know what the plan is, but I hope they keep a hold of him and give him a
think
job. I'm sure they will.
I think they will. He's a real club man.
He's a real club man. He's a real passionate heart and soul guy. He broke down in his presser,
Very emotional.
He's the kind of guy you see the crowd reaction when he came on this year in the early games.
Yeah.
it's a shame that this Saturday you guys are playing at Belmore. Would have been a great send off for him.
They're not doing anything for him. They're not doing.
No, I
anything
mean
for
I don't
him?
think he's playing, is he?
No, but is he do? No, he's not. But are they doing anything?
I
for
don't know,
him?
but I hope they do.
Yeah,
I
they
really
probably
hope
do
they
have him
do.
parade around.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
Especially at Belmore. I hope they do. Look, he's probably the last of the clubmen that I can remember, a real clubman. And we might have some moving forward, but look, since that super team, back in the 80s, I can't remember any others.
Yeah.
Steve Price, maybe Steve Price in the 90s. I mean, you can't call Sonny Bill and them clubmen. So he's probably the last of them. And look, regardless, he's had a sensational career.
Yeah.
Always good value. Always tried hard. Even if he made mistakes, you know that he was trying.
Real
hard.
effort player.
Yeah. What he lacked in talent, he made in effort. So
Exactly.
You know what? I reckon the Bulldogs this season could have really used the Josh Reynolds maybe 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
5 years younger version of
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully they'll do something for him, and we'll cover that if they do. Kikia's possibly slated for an early return this weekend.
Okay.
So they've mentioned it. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but he could be facing the Broncos at Belmore this week.
Okay.
So that's a good sign for the club that he's that close, even if he doesn't play this week.
Good to see him back.
Yeah. One of the big ones is that the Bulldogs have offered Tino a 4-year, $4 million deal, which includes equity in a pub.
Yeah.
Now, apparently this is not the first time it's happened. The Storm have tried this in the past, offering equity in a betting company that I think the chairman owns. I wasn't aware of that one, but after doing a little bit of homework, there's a bit of a difference between the two. They're saying, and I got this from Fox Sports, they're saying that the Melbourne one was okay because it was a betting agency. You don't know what the return on investment is.
That's scary anyway.
Whereas with the Tino deal, it's actual equity in a pub.
Well,
I don't know. That's really left field.
I just saw on NRL 360 the NRL's just knocked it back. It's not going to happen.
They already have.
Because of one thing that Landy said is if he doesn't make the money, he's going to pay it out of his own pocket so he doesn't lose. And that's biting into salary cap. So if
Is that included in the cap?
Well, no, that's the thing. And that's what the NRL said. They said if this guy's going to dip into his pocket and pay him if it doesn't succeed, then it's not part of the thing. It's not a done deal. So,
but it's also
now they've pulled it out. Now they've pulled it back. I don't think Canterbury's offering it.
But
anymore.
what that tells me is that it's a sneaky way of Melbourne getting around it when they did it.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Because this is the first I heard of it.
I know.
If it wasn't for this deal offered by the Bulldogs to Tino, I still wouldn't know about Melbourne and their...
Isn't it a worry that a player's got a stake in a betting agency? A player?
The betting agent, that's more concerning than a pub, isn't it? You're talking about a betting agency
A betting
that the
agency?
chairman of the club owns.
That's just disgusting, man. I can't believe that happens.
I'm telling you
It's
now,
nuts.
that's what we know. Imagine what we don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And you know what?
That's true.
They could have packaged that in a different way and told us some little white lies with that Laundry deal. And look, I don't think Tino would come over anyway. But they could have repackaged that, told us a different way, and it could have been a goer, but they didn't do that. So I'll say it again. Imagine how many deals Nick Politis has got like that going around, and we talk about salary caps.
But I love how the
There's
players,
no salary cap.
are forbidden from placing bets on games. Like, if you got some inside info, you'll get your sister or your brother or your wife or your mate to place the bet for you, wouldn't you?
Of course.
So I was going to say, interesting to see how that one plays out, but it sounds hardy because I haven't seen tonight's episode. It sounds like it's already...
Yeah, apparently that it's been withdrawn now. They won't... NRL's stopped it straight away.
Okay.
And because of that comment that he said about paying him back if it doesn't succeed. So
maybe Arthur Laundry's got to learn to not talk so much,
And
Might have.
that's what they mentioned. So if he didn't say that, would they have still gone ahead with it? So I don't know. I didn't get to him after that.
And you know what? I don't think Tino's going anywhere.
I don't
really
either.
don't think Tino-
But what scares me is that it took for that to happen for us to find out about the Melbourne setup.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I just haven't heard that before.
Nor have I.
Until this.
Nor have I. And again, I wonder how many other deals are like that around the league.
Yeah.
That's not right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than we know.
I've always said there's no doubt the clubs are working the system out there. I just wish my club was smart enough to do it right without getting caught. Anyway, It's just me.
Try again.
Panthers have offered Dylan Edwards a 3-year, $2.5 million extension.
Good.
I hope he stays.
I think you would.
Come on.
That's a fair chunk of money.
Yeah.
He's such a good player, isn't he?
He's a real Penrith player.
He's unheralded. You know, because of the fullbacks that are in front of him. You know, the Reece Walshes, Tedesco's, and Latrell.
I really want them. I really want Penrith to keep their players. This squad.
It
saddens me when they leave.
Dylan Edwards is like an anchor in that team.
Yeah.
You know, he's just so good.
Well, them going out of their way and keeping him, and let's say not going out of their way and keeping Crichton, shows you that he's one of the key players of that
And they have
system.
to make tough decisions because of all their success as well. Yeah, they've got to make tough calls.
No, unfortunately. It's a shame. It's a shame.
But I think Crichton, he wants to play fullback, doesn't he? That's where he'll be.
He wants to play fullback. He's going to play fullback.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's going to play fullback at the Dogs.
Okay.
That's that was the deal.
You know who I think is going to be a gun fullback? Taruva. I think I'd be going for him if I was any other club.
Was he a fullback in the?
I think he's played fullback. Yeah, I think he's a fullback.
I reckon
too.
that Tigers fullback.
Jaroom, yeah, he's been
Bulldozer?
Buller,
I think he's going to be a player of the future.
And
Seriously.
Jaden Sullivan. No, not Jaden Sullivan. Jaden Campbell.
Campbell.
He was good on the weekend.
Yeah, I know. How good is he? I know.
So there's got a lot of young players coming through, aren't
So
they?
who's going to
Exciting
win
players.
the number one between him and Brimson at the Gold Coast? At the moment, it's AJ, isn't it?
Brimson will be number one.
But
Jaden Campbell's been so good there.
But he's a half too. Like, it can slot him in the halves as well.
See what Desi does next year.
I don't know if Forum will be there next year, will he?
Yeah.
Under Desi, he'll probably go around again.
Yeah, he'll go around with Desi.
He hasn't trained since 1997, but
He
yeah.
doesn't train. He can rock up over this thing.
George, your dad.
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad.
Your dad's asked the question, mate. Scott Prick.
Yeah, Scott.
Your dad's
Prick
asked the question, and he's questioning the dead rubber in the Origin.
hates it.
And he's saying,
Hates
should
it.
we have a best of 5 series so there's no dead rubbers?
No dead rubbers. What do you think? I like it. I don't know. More
That's
Origin.
just 5 Origin games.
More games.
Well, we wouldn't-
more Wednesdays.
Well, I wouldn't complain about it.
More Wednesdays.
I would hate it.
Why?
Because look at the NRL. They're destroying the game. Like,
They have.
For how many games? We're just watching
I
dead
agree.
games. I hate it. No.
I agree.
Make it one Origin game. Best of one.
One like the 1980s.
I'd love to do that. That'd be the best for me.
my
Sorry.
5th birthday, Origin 1.
Do it like the women did too, and just have it for and against.
The 8th of July 1980. That was Origin 1.
There you go.
That was your birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On your birthday?
8th of July 1980. My
There you
5th
go.
birthday.
Really?
I didn't start watching footy till the following year, so I don't remember it.
Okay.
But obviously I've seen it since then.
Interesting. I thought he had something. I
Yeah,
reckon
no,
we
it's
could.
good. I know the Origin fans will love it. That's a great idea for them.
Look, I know it's too much. It's too much for the players. It's too much for the schedule. It's too much for the competition. But look, for an 83-year-old man, he's thinking.
If it was at the end of the year, I'm all for it. I think it'd be the best thing,
Well,
but not in the middle of the year.
Let's lead into that. Are we happy with the current format, or what should it be? Artie, you think
End of the year.
End of the year,
End of the year.
George?
You know what? I like it in the middle of the year, but I like it to be a festival of rugby league. I like it to be a standalone. Tell me, in Europe, do they have winter breaks?
Yes.
Some comps?
Some comps do for the Christmas tour.
Yeah. The EPL doesn't.
The EPL doesn't.
The Italian league
The Italian
does.
league does.
They have a 2-week break. I'm not
French?
sure about
But they have
some of the other
international
ones.
weekends. How many weekends do they just
Yeah,
can all the
yeah.
leagues and they just play international?
The EPL cracks me up. They play on Christmas Day, New Year's
Do
Eve.
they?
They
Oh,
just
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care.
No.
Yeah.
Boxing Day, New Year's Day. Oh, yeah, 3 or
Do you know how
4
many
games.
times on New Year's
God bless
Eve
them.
I've gotten home at 3-4 in the morning and watched an EPL game?
Really?
And then they have a week off after that,
Yeah.
a week off
after Christmas. And they play FA Cup round.
Yeah.
So half the teams are resting.
Okay. Well, I like it to be a mid-year break.
Oh, yeah, a break.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that would be
break.
good. Yeah.
I'd like it to be filled up with the girls' games.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe some international, Tonga, Samoa.
Oh, mate, that's how you're going to improve the international.
You know, a long time
Tonga,
ago we did. I don't know if you guys
bring
remember.
England over. I don't know. Bring England
England,
over.
New Zealand.
England, New
Oh.
Zealand. Okay.
Cracker.
And have a 3-week. Don't have to be over 5 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. And a real festival of rugby league, like thing round, like magic round.
Magic round.
Something like
I don't know
that.
if you guys remember. We did try once upon a time 3 Sunday nights in a row.
Did that work? I can't remember.
No, it didn't work. That's why they reverted it.
Oh, did they?
Look, I'm a fan for the way it is for 3 reasons. The first one is I just love the Wednesday night feeling.
Yeah, leave it
There's
Wednesday.
something about that Wednesday night feeling. The second reason is I don't think, especially in the early days when Brisbane were the most heavily impacted club, I just don't think when on the majority of occasions, it doesn't affect the good teams at the end of the season. They're still there.
No, I'd disagree with that. It affected us.
That's one example.
Dragons were just.
That's one example. But look at the Brisbanes and the Melbournes and the Roosters over the decades. Like they've always been there at the end of the year.
It still does impact them though, slightly.
And the third reason is I like the fact that you get to test your depth out. And it also gives other teams a chance to catch up a little bit as well. It makes the competition tighter.
You know, Adi, you say it affected your season, but 9 times out of 10, when they come back from Origin, they're better players.
Yeah.
That's true. Look at the Cowboys this year.
I don't know, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's too much for them, but I think it really affects the NRL.
I
But,
would-
you know what? The broadcaster doesn't want it any other way.
I would be happy.
That's the problem.
I would be happy if we say lose the split rounds, and on the 3 Wednesday night Origin games, there's no games that weekend. I'd be happy with that.
I agree.
I'd be happy with that. And the other players get a rest.
Samoa Tonga?
that'd be the best.
Samoa Tonga?
Yeah. I'd be
The,
happy with that.
the girls' comp? I mean, there's plenty you could fill in.
Yeah,
Like I said, bring England, New Zealand for 2 Test series.
Let's
You can fill it in.
Having the guys back up 3 days later to play an NRL game is a bit too hard. That's why I like
some
that
of them
idea.
do it 2 days
Yeah,
later.
exactly.
Yeah.
I reckon it's easier to do it 2 days later than 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Because the
days later.
soreness hasn't
Yeah,
kicked
3
in.
days it takes for your soreness to kick in.
Yeah.
Um,
I heard another good suggestion. They said that next year they're thinking about having the one in Queensland, the first one in Queensland, second one in New South Wales, or vice versa, and the decider in New Zealand.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That's a great idea.
I've got to be a fan. First of all, we don't know if it's a decider. Could be a dead rubber.
Yeah, it could be a dead rubber.
But second of all, I don't like the third destination. Just 2 home, 1 away. That's it. The way it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
They won't-
sick of Adelaide,
they
Perth,
won't do
Melbourne. I'm tired of all that crap.
I like the neutral.
they-
like
they-
the
I
neutral.
don't.
I don't, but they won't do any other thing now.
Yeah, I know, because they're
They won't
promoting
do
the game. Well, if that's the case, then it should be
Take it to Vegas.
Vegas. I was about to say that. I swear you just beat me to it.
I think Old Trafford.
Take all 3 to Vegas. Take all 3 to
Trafford.
Vegas.
I think Old Trafford.
Wembley.
2 weeks. 2 weeks in
Wembley.
Vegas. Play 3 games in 2 weeks. 3 Origin games.
We won't get high quality games. They'll be all drunk. I'll be all drunk.
And the Storm players will be hitting blackjack tables, mate.
Probably. So, I don't
Right?
know. Who knows?
Talking about Origin, let's chat a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Georgie, what do you think Freddy's plan's going to be? How's he going to approach Game 3? It's a dead rubber, but it's never a dead rubber.
It's
is
never a
it?
dead rubber. I heard Billy on the radio. This is not a dead rubber. You know what? Freddy tried to play Penrith ball, and it didn't work out for him. With this lineup, he hasn't got time to reinvent the wheel. He's got no choice in playing, as I call, bunny ball. He's got to play bunny ball now because the key playmaker, obviously, is a Rabbitoh.
Cody?
Yeah, Cody. So I would like to think that they're training exactly the way that a South Sydney team will train. You got Cookie at dummy half. I'm assuming he's going to play centre 2 halves aside, left and right half. Okay. I
Apparently, that's why he went for Cody, because he's a left
Okay.
side player. Mitch
See-
is a right side player.
see at the Bunnies, Ilias links up with Cody, but see, who do you give the keys to the castle here? This is the problem.
Well, I hope he's made a decision early in the
I hope
piece,
he's made
because
the-
otherwise there's going to be a lot of confusion.
Well, the key at Bunnies, the key to the castle is handed to Cody. Okay, now he loves Mitch, and if he gives the keys to the castle to Mitch to overcall everything, okay, then you're going to stifle Cody. You really are. I would like because Mitch can handle it. You tell Mitch that Cody's got the keys to the castle,
Yeah.
and that left hand side, the left hand side with Best, okay. And I've come to agree with Adi. I deeply thought about it, and I agree with you, Adi. I think Best is potentially an Origin player, and I'm really, really hoping he shows it, and I'm really hoping he's a 10-year centre for us. You know what I mean? I really
Don't
hope
forget, as you mentioned, Cody has that combination with Murray and Cook,
Well, exactly. I was going to say pouring
which
through
is
the
what
middle.
the Panthers were
Yeah.
doing.
So look, can I just say this run-on team is pretty much the team we should have had. The run-on team is pretty much the team we should have had.
Really?
Yeah, I look at it. It's perfectly balanced. Okay, except I'd like to see Junior there in the starting lineup. But look, it's perfectly balanced. And when you have Martin and Murray, and you got Murray pouring through the middle, and you're gonna have Martin on Cody's side. Okay, well, that's what you want to do. You want to push the ball. The good thing about Cody, if the team's not rolling forward, he creates his own momentum. You give him early ball, and you know how he runs. How I told you once, you can give him either late ball or give him early ball, and he creates momentum. He goes deep into the line. Okay, and that's when you're going to have best on the side. You're going to have a thingy bob, the fullback sweeping around, and you're going to have Martin coming through the middle, and he's got options to hit someone. You know, he hits his winger who scores how many tries a year? Who hit Addo Carr? You know what I mean? So you want that to happen. You want that to happen here, and I'm telling you now, it will confuse Queensland because they can't handle Cody NRL. They can't handle him here. I'll tell you now. You know what I mean? Okay. The other side. Let Mitch take the other side. Let Mitch take the other side with Taha and Crichton. Okay, and who's the other back row?
I'd like to see Mitch run the ball a little more.
Yeah.
I don't think he ran it enough. But I think that was part of their plan as well.
Or kicking game. That's what we want Mitch for.
His
We
kicking game,
want Mitch to kick.
I know, but he's just so good when he takes the line on and runs. Yeah.
So if they play rabbit's ball and Mitch passes it to Cody, Mitch won't run.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's why you're going to say, Mitch, you take right, Cody, you got left. Then they both can run.
That apparently is the reason why he overlooked Hines, because he's a right side player, and he wanted a player that naturally went left and naturally went right.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. I'm hoping they play Bunny's ball. I'm really expecting a lot from the back row from the Bunnies, and I can't say the name.
Kolomatangi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Now I would put Liam on Cody's side, but you know what? You might as well put him on Cody's side. He plays on Cody's side and on at the Bunnies, so you might as well put him on Cody's side. You got Cameron pouring through the middle. You got Regan pouring through the middle. RCG. You know what I mean? I really don't think Cook's going to start the game. I really don't think Cook's going to start the game.
I reckon he will, because Robson started last time, and I think this time you have the Rabbitohs combination there. It's a little bit different.
Okay.
With Cody, Cody's 33, and look, the Rabbitohs haven't been going great over the last 5-6 weeks. I still think at the moment he's probably the best ball player in the comp.
Who's that, Cody?
Cody Walker, yeah.
Yeah, he's the best 5'8".
And I think he's got a point to prove as well.
I hope so.
And I think by starting Damien Cook, I think it strengthens everything because of those combinations. Yeah, Kolomatangi, Cook, Murray, Cody. I think they have to start him.
My only problem is I think the starting pack can hold, or if not, maybe even get over the top of the Maroons pack. But when the first change happens, I don't know what the first change is going to be. Who's going to have to come off? I guess Campbell Gillard or Jake has to come off. And who are you going to put on? You're going to put Yo? Not enough leg speed or drive through the middle. I hope Jacob Safidi.
The bench is the concern.
Yeah, I really hope Jacob Safidi is going to have one of those massive games. And Reece Robson's a hooker, so you take which, I don't know, he's an 80-minute hooker.
He did really well.
Cook off.
He played really well.
Yeah. But you take Cook off and put him on. That's fine. That's okay. But
they're talking that Spencer Leniu might be a late inclusion.
Got to be.
That's what I heard today.
So who would
he's training the house down?
Who would you take out? Not Clint.
If you're not
Gutho.
If you're not going to take it, I mean, Gutho
Reece.
obviously covers the back line, right?
Reece.
You have to take out Reece.
So,
I think we need another forward.
So Clint covers dummy half.
Well, he might have to.
He might have to.
If he can't, then that's a pretty poor choice.
It just looks really unbalanced.
To be fair, he does do a lot of dummy half play for the Eels each week. Not a
He'll be
lot,
fine.
not a lot, but I mean, for a fullback, he'll come in 9 or 10 times during the game at dummy half.
Wherever Gutho
Yeah.
plays, it's going to be a winner. That's not the issue here. I just think the bench looks a little bit unbalanced because of Yo. Yo is not a middle. He's a ball playing lock.
I think he's going to be relying on his forwards playing longer minutes.
Can he play centre if a centre gets injured?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, he
they
probably
get
can.
rid of Gutherson and put Spencer for him.
I wouldn't
Carry all
I
four
wouldn't want to
forwards.
have Yo at centre.
I wouldn't have one of
He's big and he hasn't played there this year,
Mm.
or not that I can remember.
Yeah.
You know what? Drinky and Spencer, imagine them on the bench.
Yeah.
Seriously. Honestly, if Drinky and Spencer are
But what's
were on the
Drinky there
bench-
for? He's another fullback. He's like another Gutho.
So you replace him with Gutho. And then you replace Jacob Safety with Spencer.
Well, you know what? I'll throw the dice with Safidi. I'm hoping he produces. Okay, Yo, you know what? Yo's a good player. He's a very
He is.
good. He's a very good player. Okay, he just hasn't had a good Blues series this year.
Not many of them have.
Not many of them
Exactly.
have.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? There's nothing wrong with all of them. I just don't see how it's going to fit. I can't wait to see what he does. I can't wait to see
I
what
don't
he
think
does.
he knows either yet.
But Spencer maybe, and I don't be surprised at a late change, Spencer to come on the bench for, I don't know who, Reese, I guess. Because you got to have Clint to cover the outside backs, and dummy half. Clint can play dummy half, so Reese is going to have to go. He will not get rid of Yo. He won't get rid of Saifidi. So, yeah, that's what I say. But I just hope it works. I just hope, as I call it, I just hope bunny ball work, and I hope Mitch kicks the ass out of that ball. It just kicks the ass out. It keeps on
He
kicking.
kicked well in game two.
Yeah.
I just didn't think he ran it enough.
Or they didn't get in the positions to run. But, you know, Mitch just kick that ball. Kick it. And Bradman...
And I liked
just be the
some of
person you are.
the first tackle kick where he pinned him in the goal. Like some of the ad hoc stuff. I think we need that. Otherwise, it's
Yeah, I
just too
liked it.
predictable.
I like that chip he did.
If we wait for the
I like
fourth
that
and
chip he
fifth,
did.
yeah.
I thought
We need some...
out of the box.
Cody's good for that too. We need some variation because we've just been too predictable.
You know what? If Cody gets opportunities, or Cody gets early ball, clean ball, okay, the things he can do, or the things I've seen him do, and it's NRL, but he doesn't need a role. He doesn't need a roll forward. You know what I mean? He goes into the line and waits and looks, okay? And you know what? He'll get tackled. He doesn't care, okay? He'll throw the right pass to the right person.
The thing I like about Cody is that he'll catch the ball and he won't know what he's doing.
No, of
It's
course he doesn't.
instinctive. He reads the defence.
Yeah.
And when he sees something,
Yes.
at 33, it's
Yeah.
pretty special. With ball in hand, when he sees something in the defence, then he makes a decision.
Yeah. That's
And
the
he's
beauty of
so
it.
good at it.
It's a JT thing.
He's so good at it.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
On the other side, you know what? There's nothing to talk about. I mean, AJ Brinson's a superstar. I don't care.
I
I
still
mean,
think Queensland are going to win.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tipping New South Wales, but I think Queensland are going to win it.
AJ's a superstar, and he'll, you know, different to Walsh, but he's a superstar. What's Cates done wrong? Nothing. What's Holmes done wrong? Nothing. What's the Hammer done wrong? Nothing. I didn't think.
Taulagi's a great player.
I didn't think he was that good. I didn't think he was that good. Okay.
Mm.
You know what the scary thing is? We've had 2 games, and Monster hasn't played well.
It's been quiet.
Yeah. He's played
He's done
well.
enough. No,
but
he's done
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
He just,
He's done what he's had to do.
exactly.
You've got
He's the kind of player almost who comes out when he has to, when it's called upon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he kind of just drifts, and
there's
he's-
the halfback, the Delian player of the year probably, and look at that pack: Kaider, Grant, Tino, Fafita, Nanai. My God,
They're
Carrigan.
massive.
they're a unit.
That's scary. But
fantastic.
like I said last time, okay, the good stuff is this: Hunter Collins,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the crazy redhead,
yeah.
and what's his name, Marty?
Horsburgh.
No.
Oh, Fatuaka. Whatuwaka.
I can never say that name.
Apparently, the crazy redhead, Horsburgh, Big Red, needed some anger management advice. And he went to, guess who he went to?
Oh, no.
Gordon Taylor's.
Of course he did. Of course he did. What did Gordon say? Hit him. Just hit him and walk
Talk
away.
about adding fuel to the fire. Can you imagine Gordon trying to talk someone down? The Raging Bull, one of my favourite Origin players of all time.
Yeah, great play.
So good.
You know what? I think this will be a great game. I think this will be a great game.
I hope so.
I think it's not a dead rubber. Trust me, it's going to be full of heart and passion.
I hope it's good. I hope it's close.
And I think 14-10 Queensland will win. And I think the Dally M Player of the Year will be man of the match, which is DCE.
Yeah. My tip, to be honest, this is what I'm expecting, right? The way Paul Fittler's gone this year, I'm telling you now, Jake Trebojevic or Regan Campbell-Gillard, the guys who have never played much games before
Break
the
their
Origin
legs.
series, will get injured.
Yeah, we'll get
and
one.
then they'll be playing with the one
forward. Yeah,
the whole game. Because that's what he's cost all year.
That right there, Jake Trebojevic and RCG, that's why Gutho's on the bench.
Yeah.
To go into the front row.
No,
But you're right, Artie. It's been the Artie. Sorry, you're right, Artie.
Artie.
It's been the theme this season. We just go in undercooked.
Yeah, undercooked.
He's available, put him in. You know, you got really good players who are fit playing every week and not getting a chance.
I'm more comfortable having a guy that's only had one. I know Jake's my favourite. I love the guy. But one game and then throw him into an arena, he's just going to be a heavy target. They're just going to smash this guy until he gets buggered.
I'm pretty sure this is Fittler's last game.
JT said they're going to test best.
Best?
Of course they will.
Oh, do it.
They'll test any
Bring it on.
debutant. You know,
on.
especially in the centre or the wing position, where you get isolated in defence, and that's why I keep saying people don't understand. Like when we go, put Cam Murray in the centres or whoever you put there, anyone can hold their own in a
middle,
position like the centres. But it's when you're defending that's where the problems arise.
Well, you get isolated.
Yeah.
You get isolated.
So of course they're going to target the debutant. I mean, they'd be stupid not to. He'll be relying on Adokar a lot, defence-wise.
Yeah.
Best.
I
But
think.
I've got a feeling they'll do well, to be honest, on that side.
Yeah.
I reckon. I think if Best plays good, he'll help unlock Adokar
Yeah.
because he's been quiet.
yeah.
Bess has got the ability to have a good game. Is it true? Is Jeremiah Nanai, has he got injured? I think I heard something
Not
about
sure.
him.
He went into the camp injured, but
He's okay?
what's his name? The physio told Billy that he'll be training by like at the end of the week. So now he's
okay.
training.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's okay. Yeah.
Fair enough.
but I mean, you know,
Not long to go now. 48 hours.
Hofgood was ready to come on. But,
48 hours from now, we'll pretty much know
can't wait.
the result.
Can't wait till it's over.
Let's look at
Bring back
on
the
the
NRL.
same. On the
T-shirt.
same. Let's look
T-shirt.
at done and dusted. Split round, only 5 games this past weekend. Tigers went down 36 points to 12 against the Sharks. Anything would be an improvement over the previous week.
It was 12-all at half time,
Yeah.
so they were putting in a bit of a fight
Yeah,
early.
and the Sharks are the Sharks, and they had Hines, and I don't think they got many Origin representatives.
Yeah. But yeah, they did hang in there. They started well, the Tigers. I thought, we might see an upset here, but then second half, Sharks ran away with it. I thought it was Talakai, one of his best games. He's been a bit quiet this year, but he had a really good game, Talakai, for the Sharks. Ran 173 metres, broke 6 tackles, scored a try. So he had a really solid game.
Nico Hines became a victim of the bunker. He had a really good try celebration.
Oh, yes.
Drinking from the shoe.
Yes.
And then 19 minutes later, the bunker pulled it back and disallowed the try.
I know, yeah. That was a bit
And
of a
that's what
bummer.
we're missing now. The whole try celebration thing, you just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I know. There was some good ones on the weekend, which was good. But yeah, good effort by the Tigers,
George,
but not enough.
what do you think?
Look, the anything was an improvement from last week with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I've got to admit, they came and they tried really hard. I actually worry about Sharks. Obviously, the Andrew Eddie draw has kept them up into the top 4. I think they're coming into a draw now, which is a few hard teams. So we'll see how they go.
It's been very similar to last season for them, their draw.
If I was a top 8 side playing them in the finals, I would be rubbing my
Didn't
hands.
you say
I would
after
be
a couple
happy.
of weeks ago they hadn't beaten a top 8
Yeah,
side
they
yet
haven't
this
beaten
year?
Top 8 side, yeah.
They haven't.
That's a big statement.
You know what? They at halftime was it 12?
12 all.
12 all.
At halftime it was 12 all, and I got worried a little bit for the Sharks, but by the end of the game they managed to wear them down, and look, West dropped off a bit, and Sharks looked like $1 million, but their middle's soft compared to all the other NRL teams, and if you're gonna get them into a washing machine or a grind, I don't think their forwards can stand up. Like last year, I don't think their forwards can stand up. Nico maybe looked good here, but compared to last year where he got the Dally M, he's not the player he was. And look, I'm sure by the end of the year he'll be the player who he is, but he's still battling, I think. And even now that Toby Rudolph came back, I thought the pack would improve the toughness, but they didn't seem to be as dominant as they were. There was a try disallowed, and I can't remember who this was. It Tommy Talau went over. He got disallowed. Then in the next set, it was 12-4, I think. The next set, the Sharks scored, and I think it was early second half. Okay, and then they started scoring at will. The Sharks.
It's too easy when a team goes from one end of the field to the other.
Yeah,
That's just too easy.
Look, the Tigers tried, and Sharks got 2 points. That's what they needed. And next week will be interesting. So I think they're going to North Queensland and somewhere to play, and we'll see what the story is. But I worry about them. I'm not convinced about them. I'm not convinced, and I can't believe that they're coming second or third. I think on the table.
They've had 3 buys. So.
They've already had their buys. Okay. So they're probably 4th or 5th in real terms, yeah.
Yeah, well, they've got to play their games now to catch up to the others because they've played less games than the others because they've got the buys.
Okay. You know what? Watch this space. I'm not convinced. But in saying that, I mean, Talakau is an animal. He's hard to defend. The backs, Kennedy went well. So they all played well, but they played against the Tigers, and the Tigers dropped off at the end.
Yeah,
so let's see what happens.
It was still an improvement.
Oh, absolutely. The Tigers tried really hard. They tried really hard. I can't complain about them. Like I said, I always say, if I see my team trying, I can't complain.
Yeah,
Cronulla's better.
This week will be the big test for Cronulla. They play the Warriors in New Zealand, so I think they'll give them a good test.
Okay, that will tell us the story, Nicola.
For sure.
That will tell us the story.
The Raiders 36, Dragons 26.
Yeah.
Close
I
one
watched
now.
that game, mate. Yeah, you know what? First half, the damage was done. They ran away to a 24-6 lead. They just kept attacking the left side. Our left side is weak, man. That's Sully and Fairnai. They're just turnstiles at the moment, and every team just going to the well, and they're getting luck. It's just terrible, but the second half they did come back. I saw a different attitude in the boys, though. You know what? I liked... Amoni had an outstanding game. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
Best game for a while. Lomax was phenomenal. I thought he was fantastic. But they just looked a bit more... there was a bit more joy in there, man. I think this Hunt thing's really getting to him, and because he wasn't around,
it would
bit
be
more freedom.
It would be impacting them for sure.
Yeah, their attack was so much better. Like, they were going left and right, and Sullivan was having a bit of a run. He got injured. He's got hamstring injury, so he's going to be out for a while, unfortunately, the poor kid. But Zach Lomax and Revalawa, I've never seen a better right combination. They were phenomenal, and Hook, for some reason, took them apart. The Bellum was fantastic. It was a great performance. For Canberra, Timoko, how good is that guy? He's a sick player. He's very good. Tapane.
Canberra's just prodding along,
so good.
winning.
Yeah, they were great. But then
winning.
second half fades, huh?
Yeah.
Ricky wasn't happy. He was fuming at the end of it. But they've got a good side. Sebastian Chris, he had a blinder.
Yeah.
But Timoko, to me, stood out. He's a phenomenal player. They found a gun. They always seem to find guns, don't they, the Canberra Raiders? They've got a good nursery there, eh? They seem to be able to get it.
Ricky's got an eye for talent.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're going to be a huge threat in the finals. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it the grand final. They're capable, don't you think? They're capable, George?
I haven't seen it this year, Adi.
Yeah.
Them being capable, they've come in and out of games.
Yeah.
I actually worry about them as well in terms of. Well, talk about St George. I'm not going to say they didn't try because they tried. And you're right. Zach Lomax wanted to prove a point, and he did prove a point. And let me tell you, when he went back to fullback, I think there's your answer.
He was great, wasn't he?
I think there's your answer. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think he's a fullback. I don't think he's a centre. I think he's a fullback. Okay, I know the issue is that you're breeding a fullback and he can only play fullback, but I don't know. I think Zach is tailor-made for fullback, and you're right about Rava Ahala. He's an animal.
I'm going to make a bold prediction with you, mate. Next year, Zach Lomax and Campbell Graham's going to be the centres for New South Wales.
Centres.
I guarantee you.
He's got all the talent. He's got all the potential and all the talent. He's been unhappy.
And he's a goal kicker too.
He's a goalkeeper, a very good goalkeeper when he wants to be. Okay, no, Zach went out to prove a point because I don't honestly think that the coach incoming said that he wants to get rid of Zach. I don't believe Flanagan said that. Now, where the rumour started, I don't know. Yeah, Buzz.
Shot at
You love these rumours, eh?
Oh, Buzz.
I don't know what he does.
They
Buzz
create their
annoys
own
me.
headlines.
Should see him hear him on his pod. You want to hear rumours? He can drop a rumour or two on his podcast, and he's got his little worship lovers there. Cariana saying, "Oh, Buzz, yeah." It's sickening sometimes, but I love it. I listen to it. It's so proper. But yeah, look, they tried. Sullivan got injured, you said, but he was having an unhappy night for mine.
Yeah, he was a bit. He had good and bad moments.
Amon showed me something, but that's St George. You know, what I mean, they tried. Now Canberra's the question because they are going to make the 8, and they could even make the top 4. Okay, and I don't know about their for and against, but if they keep on winning, they'll make the top 4. They fall in and out of games. Okay, when you look at them for 10 minutes, you think, gee, they're good. They're powering through the middle. Then they're turnstiles. Then a team like St George can score 26 points on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then when they want to click a switch on, then they go defence.
But don't take anything away from the Dragons either. They played really well in that second half.
In stages, they do. But my question is, when a Penrith's got you in a grind, you switch on. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on. Switch on.
But you know what?
Because guess what?
Yeah,
you know that Tamakai kid who makes breaks at will. Okay, how many times he's going to split Penrith?
Canberra's not Penrith, George.
What I'm trying to say is, Artie said that they got a chance of winning the comp, or they're playing at a high level, this and that. Are they going to make the 8? Yes. I haven't seen them put a complete performance together.
We just said now, right?
That's fair.
That Cronulla have not beaten a top 8 side, right?
No.
And it's been a really tough comp. Like a lot of the top sides, it's been pretty even, hasn't it?
Yes.
Not one team has won 9. Has it 9 straight now? How many have they won in a row?
They've won a few.
They've won quite a few.
Canberra.
Yeah.
They're on a massive roll.
Didn't they lose their first 5 or 6?
Yeah,
5
they
out of
did.
the first 6 or something?
They've been on a big roll.
Yeah.
They've only
No,
lost one in the
they
last
lost to the
10
Warriors
or
a few
12.
weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
yeah,
one
they've
out
won
of 1 out of 9.
But
Yeah.
not many teams have been able to put on such a
And
run.
close
of
wins too. Not
impressive.
not so much this one, but some close ones in recent weeks.
I don't disagree, and I said that at times they look like world beaters, but I haven't seen them put an 80-minute.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen
they
them
go
put
in
an
and
80
out.
They go in and out. Jared, as you call him, Toots, he needs a break. He was, let's say, Lomax bathed him.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate seeing that. So he might need a break. He might be a long season. Adi already called out Matthew Timoko. I don't know where he came from. I don't know who he is, but he's a superstar. You blokes know that I'm a massive Fogarty fan. He just steers the ship. Jack's a legend.
Jack played lock.
Yeah, I love it.
And
I don't
fully-
care where he plays. I love
so there was a bit of an adjustment there that he put last minute.
I love it. I like the try celebrations. The try celebration.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll answer all your questions. Ricky sprayed him.
Oh, yeah.
Say no
He
more.
was pissed off in the dress.
Ricky sprayed him. I don't think they're that good either.
Fair.
I don't think they're that good either.
First half they were. They were pretty good.
At times, yeah.
24-6.
Yeah, at
They
times.
had
they were
nothing,
good.
Saints. Second half, they put the queue in the rack.
The old adage, it's a game of two halves.
That's it. Yes, that's right.
Warriors 46, Eels 10. Gave him a bit of a bath at Combank.
You know what's funny about that? Halftime, it was 30-4 Warriors. And Eels' last game, they were winning 42-0 at halftime. What a turnaround.
Yeah, I was definitely happy with the second half. The first half got away from that was too good.
Yeah. They had a lot of players out, and you could
Yeah,
see
they did,
it
but-
did impact them.
But the Warriors were really good too.
They were fantastic, yeah.
I don't want to take away from that. The Warriors were really good.
Yeah.
They're looking really good.
And
They really are. Like
Yeah.
they're looking, especially lesbian acting players like that. Like they just look sharper and better than they have in recent years. This coach has got them believing in themselves.
and he's got them playing above their
Yeah.
expectation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing phenomenal. Like that Jackson Ford from St George.
Yeah.
He's playing the way he played in the reserve grade at St George in the juniors. He was playing like that in the juniors, but bringing him into first grade, McGregor and Hook failed miserably, and Webster, he's got him playing like a demon. He's playing so well.
And Shaun Johnson is finally playing the way we all knew he could.
Yeah.
From
So
found
good.
form from a few years back.
And Metcalf, the 5'8", he found him from
Where's he,
Cronulla.
where's he from?
He's a Cronulla junior. He got him from there, and he just gets rocks and turns them into jams, man.
They were really good.
Jules, he's just a brilliant coach.
Let's not forget, and let's pay some homage to Brownie, who put this team together. Because Webster walked into this club and didn't bring anybody or buy anybody. So this is a Brownie team. Okay, he put
No,
this.
Gould will claim it because he was there for 5
Oh,
minutes.
yeah.
He walked in and out of the door.
Pathways Gould.
Pathways
Mr.
Gould.
Pathways.
Yeah. So,
Pathways G.
so let's make no mistake. All these players were bought from Brownie.
Yeah.
So he knew what he's doing. Like, I don't know if he can coach, but tell you what, he can pick a player. Brownie, and he's with you.
He's
now?
with the Parramatta Women's.
NRL Women's.
Yeah.
Okay, no, they'll good. They'll do well then.
I think we're trying to get him to the
Okay.
team.
Well, I just heard that thing is coming down next year.
Dean Young.
Dean Young,
Yeah,
good,
yeah, he's
good. You know what, Parramatta? I was a little bit disappointed because with a similar team a couple of weeks ago, they played Souths and they went really well. If I'm not wrong, they beat Souths.
Both teams were at full strength
When
they played South.
were they? They
They
weren't
were
depleted?
they were the first team to beat South after their 5 or 6 game streak.
When did they play depleted? A few weeks ago, and they won.
Well, the thing is, they were depleted, but they were only missing. They still had Gutho, they still had RCG, they still had a couple other players there. They weren't as depleted.
Gutho's a big loss.
Where they really suffered the other night was in the outside backs. Shaun Russell at fullback, Lumi on the wing, racing up out of the line. He gave up 2 or 3 tries just on his side.
I thought Bailey went okay.
Yeah, Bailey Simons.
He went really well. He went really well.
Yeah.
And they did well in the second half. But it was a 15, 20-minute period that killed them, really. But the Warriors, man, they look good.
Okay, let me talk about the Warriors because it's another team I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
They're at a stage at the moment where their attack is very advanced. Webster's got them going like Penrith last year, and Penrith hasn't hit the heights. So I said that they can set up and then do 2 or 3 shots on you. What they're doing now is pulling a team apart slowly, just pulling you apart very slowly. Okay, then when they've pulled the middle apart, then they start pulling the 2 edges aside. They start pulling you apart, and they know, because of Shaun, his experience, he knows when to hit the outside backs. That's why the lesbian act's scoring so many tries. Okay, It's very strategic. It's very, very deliberate. Okay, what they do. Okay, this is probably a little bit more advanced or very close to what Penrith was doing last year. Okay, a very different style. Yeah. Okay, but the theory is the same way. Okay, the guy's a genius. How he's set this team up. Yeah. Then all of a sudden you find Metcalf. Okay, which takes so much pressure away from Shaun. Okay, and Shaun can direct the team. Okay,
yeah.
And when he wants to go, he can go. He can shoot off. But you know what? He just has to be the conductor. Okay. They're brilliant. I love watching them. Okay, they're playing semi-final football. I've never seen Parramatta's middle, because the one thing Parramatta's got, I always say, is you can try to go through their front door. I haven't seen no team go through their front door, but they'll go through your front door. Okay, the Warriors took a screwdriver and took the door off. Okay, it was amazing, and I can't wait to see him. You know, players like Egan, who was a normal first grader, if that, looks like a superstar to me.
Wade Egan.
Wade Egan. Artie talked about Ford, but all of them. You know,
Mitch
Bunty,
Barnett, he's having a
Barnett.
He had a really
He's
good
got a
game.
parade.
Yeah.
I never thought Barnett.
He had a
was
really strong
good.
game.
And then you know what? You throw in Dylan Walker on.
Yes.
Another ball playing middle. Yeah. So
And he was fading out at Manly. The last couple of years at
Yeah.
Manly, he wasn't doing much, but he's come of age now. He's really looking good.
and who got injured for Metcalf to come in?
A couple of players went down for the Warriors.
Who got injured for Metcalf to come in? Because he was playing Reggie's.
Yeah, isn't it the guy?
The poet, not the poet.
No. Tamari Martin.
Well, I suggest to you,
Yeah.
Martin's not going to get his job back.
Well, he's out for a while.
Is he?
it
Okay,
says.
well,
But
they've found
Metcalf's
him.
been there for a while, for a few games.
Yeah,
He's doing
okay.
well. Yeah, you're right. I don't think he's
No. So, you know what? If I was a Parramatta supporter, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, it's just one bad day at the office.
I'm more concerned about what happens this weekend, I think.
I think they'll bounce back this weekend.
Yeah.
But Warriors, everybody, have a look at them because and have a look at how their style, how they play and their style of playing, and try to see how they just pull teams slowly apart. It's beautiful to
They're
watch.
enjoying themselves. It's
I'm
something
enjoying
I
watching
haven't.
them. I'm
It's
enjoying
something I
watching
haven't seen in years. The Warriors team, the players are enjoying themselves. They're happy
yeah,
Resilience.
and they're believing in themselves and they're backing themselves and it's working.
and they're defending like demons.
That, you know,
That's
you
a
just,
defensive.
look, Parramatta did it. You know, they were depleted. They did have. I mean, the whole spine was out.
Yeah, look.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Warriors still could have gone there and won 22-12.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They went there and put the foot down, and we haven't seen that in the past from them.
Well, they could have done what Cronulla had done.
Yeah.
Rock up, win,
Yeah.
make it look good, but it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were good. They were good.
Speaking of the word good, George, tell me what happened. Bulldogs 36, Rabbitohs 32.
Masterclass.
Talk to me, man. Tell me what happened.
Masterclass. Probably some of the best coaching I've seen since Dean Pay there. Look, it was the Reggie Bowl for me. 2 Reggie teams, and our Reggie's are a bit better than the Bunnies Reggies. How different is it, or how good is it having a genuine number 7?
Yeah.
You know, I'm hard on number 7s.
Toby Sexton went
you happy
well,
with
didn't
him?
he?
Look, I've always said, even from the coast, that he's a good halfback. I said that,
There you go.
and I said that maybe not Sexton, your guy.
Tanner Boyd.
Tanner Boyd's probably a better footballer,
Yeah.
but not a better half. I always said. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's right. Yeah.
Sexton's probably a better half, and Tanner's probably a better footballer.
Yeah.
I'd say, okay. But what he done was he's loosened up Burton and he stood wider and he could ball play. Okay. I don't know why they got rid of Jake Averillo because, you know what I mean? I know that...
Because you got Crichton and Bronson Cherry
I know
coming in.
Yeah,
Crichton's
exactly,
got... Well,
yeah.
you know what? We keep on saying about Bronson Cherry. If he plays first grade, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
He hasn't played in 5
That's
years,
what I
it'll
mean.
be, yeah.
That's what I mean.
But if he picks up where he left off, good pickup.
Oh, yeah, that's 4 years ago now, you know what I mean? So...
You've still got Crichton coming
I think he's a Regis. I think I'm looking at him as a Regis player.
Yeah. I think for the first season, it'd have to be.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, they got rid of Averillo, but to me, he looks like a fullback. The answer to their problems. And the forwards worked well. So what can I say? They tried. It was effort. It was an exciting game.
They did what you wanted them to. Even if they would have lost that game by a few points, if I was a Bulldogs fan, I would have been happy with the response.
I was happy when I
Yeah.
saw them play and I saw the effort.
The fact that they hung on and won, should be happy about that.
I am. Can we talk about Souths for a minute? Now, Souths are depleted. Obviously, they're depleted. I just want to talk about Blake Taff. If someone doesn't buy him to play regular first grade, they're doing a misjustice.
I thought him
this
and
kid.
Elias both had great games.
Elias, I heard that he hasn't had a game. I thought he was great. I thought Elias was good. I thought Taff was very good, very, very good. I saw enough in Peter Mamazoulis to think that he'll be a great second, for argument's sake, a Parramatta. He'll be a great off the bench. I thought it was an entertaining game.
There was a try scored where Mazelis passed it to
When he made
Elias
the
and then
break?
it went to Tate.
Yeah.
The three of them. That's
The
their
boys.
future.
Well,
The Souths won't let them go. Like
The Souths won't let
Dimitri's
them
got
go.
plans for those guys. Just
Souths
like
won't
Saints
let
have got
them
their little spine sorted. They got their spine
Well, that
sorted. So.
apparently all of them are on good contracts. They're all being paid well.
Yeah, good.
It's not
Exactly.
like 300,000. They're in the 500,000s. I don't know how they're doing that and getting Jack. I don't know, but
Exactly.
Jack will be a huge inclusion to the Rabbitohs.
yeah, and he's $1 million player. So I don't know where he's going to fit in. He's going to play lock, I'd say. I don't know because they're not getting rid of Tass apparently.
Can Blake Taff play in the halves?
Yes, he's a halfback.
Okay, well, Blake Taff... Cody Walker's 33.
6. Yeah, he's a 6.
Yeah, how long?
He's only got a couple of years, and then Blake Taff will go in for
Yeah,
them.
I mean, the way he's playing, you'd keep him on, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Cody.
for sure.
Cody, yeah, as long as you
Oh,
can.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But
As long as you can.
he's getting old now, so injuries are going to come.
No, but it was a good
But-
win.
Look, at the end of the day, it was a positive. We won. We nearly lost. Thank God for Sexton. He picked that little kick up right on the bell. But again, how good is it having a genuine halfback? He changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
He changes.
Bulldogs have been
things.
lacking that for ages now.
Oh, halfback.
A genuine halfback.
Halfback is everything. Look, he put a smile on my face. I couldn't believe. First of all, I couldn't believe the effort. Second of all, I couldn't believe we won. It's been a long time since we won. And then I quickly went to my phone and had a look at we're playing next week. And I got a smile on my face because we're playing at Belmore. Then I saw Broncos and I put a frown on my face. It might be a tough
One thing
afternoon.
at a time, George.
One
Enjoy
thing
the
at a
win.
time.
Demetrio was pretty upbeat about South. He was really happy with what he saw with his juniors. He thought there was a good
Look, to
effort
be
there.
fair, they were missing a host of big
Right.
names, right?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry at all if I was a South.
No,
So-
me
and that's
neither.
why I haven't dived in a lot this game because I think, one team is trying to go for the spoon, avoid the spoon, and the other team is depleted with 6 out? 7, 6 out?
Latrell, Cody, Murray, Cook, Kalamatungi. Did Campbell Graham play?
No.
Who else is missing? That's quite a few big names right there.
Yeah.
But hey, you can only players in front of you, right?
3.
What do you think of the sim bidding for Ryan Sutton with Mill?
For me,
Demetrio was going off deluxe.
for me, I looked at that closely, and I just can't believe that was even. He stood his ground. You know what he did? He braced himself for contact. The guy's head ran into his shoulder.
Yeah.
I can't see how that's a sin bin.
Yeah.
I
Demetrio,
can't see what the player did wrong.
he was fuming after that.
I don't blame him. All he did was brace himself. You know what I mean? For contact.
Yeah.
You won't like my answer then.
You know what it is? It's like when a pedestrian gets run over. Have you seen how these people just cross the road looking at their phones? Like, when's the onus going to be? It's always the driver's fault, right? When's the onus going to be on the pedestrian? When is the onus going to be on the ball carrier? And when can we look at it and just say, hey, shit happens. It was unfortunate. It was an accident. It was, no malice there. All he did was brace himself.
Yeah.
George, you got a different opinion?
Oh, did any part because it's on the emphasis is on the
Yeah, but see,
defender.
that shits me when people say that, right?
I disagree with it.
Did any part of his head hit his shoulder? I
Did
mean,
it?
that's fucking shit
Sent
for
off.
me.
Should have been sent off.
No, why? For what?
I disagree.
For what?
I disagree. They should have been sent off. But
What if
letter
ball
of the
carriers
law-
start cannonballing themselves into players' shoulders?
they'll be sent off.
He didn't do anything wrong. He just stood his ground and braced himself. What's he supposed to do?
I didn't. You know, when I first saw the footage, I was going off like you, thinking, "What do you mean? It just happened." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I thought about it, and I saw a few different angles, I'm thinking, oh, fuck, however it happened,
Here's the
his
thing,
head,
George.
His head hit his shoulder.
It happens in an instant. It doesn't happen in a replay. It doesn't happen in a
know.
few different angles. It happens in an instant, right? And we've blurred these lines so much
I agree.
between an intentional foul and accidental contact. It's accidental contact. His head made contact with his shoulder. Big fucking deal. His head will make contact with any part of someone's body every time he gets tackled. Why does the shoulder become the red zone? You know, if he comes in contact with a knee, he has to go off for a HIA, but there's no foul play in it. But if it's a shoulder, all the guy did was brace himself. I'm sorry, but for me, I thought Souths were hard done by.
I agree.
But that's the rule.
That's
Unfortunately, that's the rule.
Yeah, I know.
So
I just think it's shit.
So the Gold Coast loss because
And it all started because
offside.
Dean Young ran into Greg Inglis' shoulder.
Is that what
years
happened?
ago.
Really?
That's where the whole shoulder charge thing started.
No.
It did.
That was a bad hit.
It was a bad hit, but it was twice his height as well.
Yeah.
It was a bad hit.
And you know what? That's in bin. And why Dimitri was angry about that when he got sent off for 10 minutes. That's when a lot of points were scored. 16
12
points.
points.
12
I
points.
think, points aside, that's not what it's about for me. I just think Souths were hard done by because wouldn't matter which side that guy was on. I'm sick of seeing players getting sin bin and possibly suspended for something that they can't avoid. He could not have avoided that.
No, I don't disagree.
How could
I
the
don't
defender
disagree.
explain to me how the defender could have avoided that?
I don't
All
disagree.
he did was brace himself.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You know what?
And when a guy's 1 foot taller than another guy, it's pretty good chance that his head's going to run into the shoulder region.
Nico, you know what doesn't work in NRL? Logic. It doesn't work.
Tino can put his forearm up,
Oh, here
break
we
one
go.
guy's jaw,
Yep.
knock another guy out 2 weeks in a row, but that's a sin bin?
Again, logic doesn't come into NRL.
It frustrates me.
I agree, but
The South player didn't do anything wrong. He didn't deserve that, in my opinion.
thank God he only got 10 minutes not sent off.
Yeah, yeah. in my
Because
opinion.
really, by law, he should have got sent off. If you really look at it that way. But anyway,
I just don't see what he did wrong.
Nothing.
You want to talk
Nothing.
about controversy?
nothing.
Look at how the next game ended. The Dolphins 23 over the Gold Coast 21. Penalised for being offside, chasing the field goal kicker, but it happened at the other end of the field. No one seemed to notice it. And that's what Kieran was blowing up about.
What did Kieran say?
Well, the Dolphins won because they got a penalty in front.
Yeah.
Because when Gold Coast were going, when the Dolphins were going for a field goal, the Gold Coast players were offside in trying to put pressure on the kicker. But the same thing happened at the other end of the field when the Gold Coast were going for a field goal, but the Dolphins weren't penalised.
I didn't know about that.
And every report that I've read from the so-called experts or whatever, they're all saying, well, we see this happen all the time. It rarely gets penalised. So it's a case of, well, should we be more consistent about it, or should this one not have been a penalty?
This one, the only reason it was a penalty
He was clearly offside.
It was clearly offside, but I think he actually called him twice, and he said, "Just keep out," and he didn't, and that's why he had the penaliser. Apparently, look, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that anyone gets penalised in extra time. I'm surprised, but there you go. It's the first time I've seen it. Actually, I can't remember seeing it before. It's happened. They lost. It's a heavy loss. Very entertaining.
Yeah,
game.
it's great.
Look, you know what? I'll say it again. The Titans are the fun team of the pod. I love watching them.
Of course,
They're just fun.
the Titans or the Dolphins?
Well, both, but Titans. Yeah.
I was laughing at Wayne Bennett's comments after the game.
What'd he say?
He said it was a great decision by the ref. He did the right thing. Of course, he's going to say that.
love him.
Of course.
Love him. On this game, Jaden Campbell is a superstar. Love him. Caring for an old bloke and move around. You know what? A fit Sam Verrills is a very good player.
He is.
Yeah.
He's just injury prone.
I was actually hoping that Parramatta would have gone for him after losing Red Money, but they didn't.
Clis Hess.
Clis
Huss's
has,
brother.
yeah. He's all right.
He's all right, yeah. He's not nowhere near his brothers.
No, Huss. Okay. You know what? With Dolphins, you've got to beat them.
Yeah.
They're not gonna roll over. And if you're going to give them as many opportunities as the Titans gave them, well, that's what they're going to do to you.
Yeah. And they've got their halves back. Sean O'Sullivan's back. He's been out for a while.
Sullivan's back. Yeah.
So they're
Most
slowly
of the
getting
season.
troops. Yeah. So they'll be hard to beat. They're not going to be easy beats, that's for sure.
What's your best game of the round, boys?
This one?
That one?
Yeah, I
George?
think so. That
You
was a
can,
cracker.
you can't say that, George.
Well, it was fun.
You got to go to the Bulldogs,
Yeah,
man.
the Bulldogs,
4-point
yeah.
win.
This is more fun. Yeah. The dogs. Great game. Great game.
For me, it's
Masterclass coach.
For me, it's the Titans Dolphins. That was my game of the round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the bludger of the round?
Gee.
I'd probably say the Eels game.
Yeah, I thought all 5 games were okay, actually. I didn't mind the games, but the Eels and Warriors was a bludger.
reckon?
Yeah, a bit of a bludger.
Okay, I didn't enjoy watching Cronulla and Tigers. That was hard to watch.
That was
too.
a bit.
Why the Eels game wasn't a bludger is because the other team you could actually see what they were doing, and I was enjoying what they were doing. I can understand as a game, but I enjoyed the process that the Warriors undertook to dismantle Parramatta. I enjoyed that, and I can't wait next week. They're playing Cronulla. They've got a big job if and they know. See, every team knows that what the Warriors are going to do. You got to stop them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What stood out for you guys this round?
Try celebrations. That was good to see.
that was
There was
fun.
quite a few.
The Canberra one was pretty cool.
Cro-
wasn't
that
it?
was-
Not
that's
that
what
I'm a
I-
cricket fan.
was
That was
the
the best. Yeah,
Pick of the lot for me. And having an Englishman batting.
that was the fun. That was the fun. that was the
good.
best.
Elliot.
That was the best. Yeah,
Elliot.
and I'll be following the cricket.
Remember that? Was it 2005 or 6 where we had that everyone was doing try celebrate?
I love it.
Yeah.
They
Bring
had
them
the
back.
10-pin bowling. They had the... Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, do you know if they do the
You
10
can't do them anymore, George, because we don't know for 5 minutes whether it's a try or not.
It's true.
Yeah.
But you know, if you do the hand grenade in Origin, okay, that's $50,000 to your favourite charity.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. No one's going to do it, but because what happened last time? They lost 8 series in a row.
Who gets the John Creese spray?
Oh, Addy.
Looks like the poor Raiders got a spray, even though they won by Ricky, which was surprising. But my spray goes to Buzz Rothfield. 2nd week in a row. He's just caning St George. I don't know why. Every week there's a play leaving or he's unhappy. So I don't get on your horse, mate. I think you're an idiot. And
He is an idiot.
just spread it. At least spread the love to other teams, man. You're just picking on one team every week. It's
Yeah,
just getting
it's
boring.
almost James Hooperish.
That's a compelling argument. You know what? I watch Buzz to get angry. I want to get angry. I'm addicted of him pumping me up and making my blood run to my head. And you know, because he's an opinion writer. He's not a fact writer. Like he doesn't go and interview players. He's an opinion writer. Like the guy who used to be on NRL, Paul Kent. They're both opinion writers, okay? But he's opinion writers. Did you watch when they said to him, he was on NRL 360, and he said something stupid, and he goes, and is that from a source, Buzz? He goes, look, not from a source, but look, I've asked around. He goes, yeah. So did someone tell you that this is going to happen? Look, you know when you know something, you know what I mean? Is it from a source, Buzz? You know what I mean?
I think it was
and that's what's going.
I think when he said about Dellicher Evans retiring at the end of the year.
Oh, is that what he said?
I think it was one of
Was
those,
that
him
it?
or Tedesco.
that
He
your-
threw his own little opinion in there and then he was like backtracking.
And things go, and the nurse is going, is that from a source? Did someone tell you? He goes, look, I've asked around.
Is
I
that-
mean,
Is that your spray as well, George? Or do you have someone else?
I don't think anyone deserves this for me. You know what? Yeah. Clinton Newton.
Yeah, okay.
Sort it out.
Well, mine's
sort it out.
Mine's the CEO, Andrew Abdo and Peter V'landys.
Yep. What?
No, I don't have a reason. Just
Spray him. I agree. No, I agree.
Fuck
no,
it, just spray him
No,
anyway.
I agree. Spray both of them. The man of feathers, spray him.
I don't have a reason.
Bugger him.
Who's Manoli's player of the round?
I bet you we've got the same one.
Sorry, can I just say I didn't give you my what stood out for this round.
Oh, yeah. It's,
It was Elias and Taft,
okay.
the youngsters at South. I thought they
South's
did really
future.
well. Yeah,
South's future.
yeah. And my player of the round, I'd probably give it to Elias.
Elias?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I went for Metcalf from the Warriors.
I knew we had the same
I
one.
thought he was great.
I knew we had the
I
same
really
one.
enjoyed watching him play.
I knew we had the same
And
one.
Webster's just bringing, like, I reckon you just put anyone there, he'll make him into a star. He's got that, that's amazing.
So then I'm going to go for the fullback for the Titans.
Jaden
Campbell?
Sullivan?
Yeah.
Campbell, sorry.
Sullivan, yeah, no, Campbell.
Campbell.
Jaden
They're both Jadens.
Both the same. They're probably both the same age too, actually.
Yeah.
So he's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
He's very good for. Well, he's on the bench, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So he's a very good player.
Ardy, you got some spam mail for us?
Yeah, I have actually. I've got a couple here. Where is it? Matt from Belmore. He just wrote, I can't believe someone shined a laser in my eyes during the game. What a disgrace. The plan was to shine it in the South kicker's eyes. We're the team that got flogged last week, remember? So,
Good point,
I think the
Tisha.
guy got it wrong.
He got the wrong one.
Supposed to be the South guy that got the eyes.
wrong one.
Clint from Newcastle wants a mediator.
Yeah, he needs
Yeah,
one.
he wants a mediator.
He needs
His
one.
wife wants chicken for dinner and Clint wants steak. And because of that, he won't be eating with napkins on the table until it's sorted. Well done.
Good
Done,
man.
Clint. Yep, I reckon
Good boy.
that's
Good
going to
boy,
solve
Clint.
it. No napkins.
Good boy, Clint. I've got to snip that one. Good boy, Clint.
And Shane from Carringbar, can't wait to hear Buzz's rumour next week. Which Saints player won't be wanted? The way it's going, Saints won't have a team in 2024.
No, he's not rocking up either next week.
Yeah, Shane's had a bit enough. So.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
And that's it for me, man. I've got not much
What
else.
about Ask Artie segment? Do you have something for us there?
I was just going to remind us about a series, an Origin series in 2003. I just came across this Big League magazine.
Wait a second.
It's an annual one.
I'm really going off memory here. Was that the Shaun Timmins 5/8 experiment? Or was that not the year?
No, I don't think that was the year.
Where he
but
came in and kicked the field goal and win the series?
Nah, definitely not the year.
Okay.
So Peter Baddiel wrote an article. So I just picked this up out of the blue. And Peter Baddiel's a journalist in Queensland.
Yeah.
And he called the Origin series, he wrote about the whole
Brisbane.
series, and he called it Blue Murder. Because the first two series, Game 1 and Game 2, New South Wales flogged Queensland.
Was he already a journo back then? Was he?
Yeah, back then. New South Wales won 25-12 and New South Wales won 27-4. Game 3, some young fella made his debut in 2003.
Slater?
And his name was... no, it wasn't Slater, man. It was Cameron Smith.
Oh, wow.
And we all know how it's gone since.
Yeah, so
Big
referee
Cam.
made his debut in 2003.
Yeah, so
8 straight.
Cameron Smith's first game, he replaced PJ Marsh as hooker.
Wow.
There you go, Parramatta boy. And they won 36-6.
Yeah, okay.
Third
So
game. The third
it
game.
stood out for me for that. Let me just read the squads.
To think he only just retired.
Yeah,
A couple of years
exactly.
ago.
Exactly. So I'll read the squads for that
Yeah.
New South Wales team that absolutely flogged Queensland.
Yeah.
The fullback was Minicello, and he was up against Lockyer. Pretty damn good.
Lockyer hadn't made the switch to 5/8 yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year, the other year.
Yeah, the back line was for New South Wales was Tahu, Gidley, Jamie Lyon and DeVere. And on the other side we had Hegarty, Tate, Hodges and Singh. Top side, eh? They're pretty strong sides
I think
at the
that was
moment.
Lions' last Origin. He never played again.
He might not have, yeah.
He refused to.
Shaun Timmins and Johns did play in the halves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had Eichen and Berrigan.
So he did. So maybe it was the year before.
Well, they won. Yeah, it might have been the
No,
year
because
before.
there was a game where Shaun Timmins was coming at 5/8, and it was a big
Yeah.
should he, shouldn't he? And he kicked the field goal to win the game.
And I heard,
Artie Timmins wasn't a 5/8 at St George, was he?
yeah, he
was a
played
centre.
every now and then. Yeah, he played every now and then. And I remember hearing Shaun Timmins say a story about that. His dad was watching that game, the one where he kicked the field
Yeah.
goal. And he had the whole family over. He said, my dad was on the tins all night. And he goes, and the poor guy went to go to the toilet. When he came out, I'd kicked the field goal. And they
missed
said,
it.
you missed it, you missed it.
Because he predominantly played lock, didn't he? Or back row, Timmins.
That was a centre.
Was he a centre?
Yeah,
Hang
him
on,
and McGregor.
I'm getting confused.
Timmins and McGregor.
Gee, McGregor. Do you remember McGregor's first Origin game? The runs. He was sensational.
Yeah.
Great, that step he
Yeah.
had.
Yeah. Look at the forward pack. We had Robbie Kearns, Baderis and Riles. Right? That's a good front row. Against Webke, Sivanasiva and PJ Marsh. Later Cameron Smith. And then Fitzgibbon, Kennedy and Ricketson locked the back with Tallis, Carlo and Price. it was. What a top side. They were pretty strong sides.
Very
But
strong
imagine
sides.
Jason Rolls. There you go. Jason Rolls, Blue Murder. That might be a sign. Maybe if he gets the coaching job next year, we get 10 years of dominance. So I'm hoping the stars align and this 2003
Mate,
carries on to 20 years later. We
he's-
get a nice
He's done
run.
everything. He's
Yeah.
done everything in the game.
So yeah, it just stood out for me, man. But
That's
let,
interesting, yeah.
let me ask you guys a question. Who's been the most influential player to play Origin for you?
Either side.
Yeah, either side. Pick
Wally Lewis.
Wally Lewis?
Yeah.
Who's yours?
You know, my favourite player, Wally Lewis.
Wally Lewis? Man, I just did some quick stats on that, man. And
Can I just give a special mention to Turby Mortimer, the first time the New South Wales won a series?
85.
Yeah.
85, yeah. Before that, they couldn't win a series.
yeah. Well, look, let me just run some stats, right? Well, Wally Lewis played, he played 29 games. He had 17 wins and 12 losses.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But we talk about Arthur Beetson like an Origin legend. He played one game.
One game, yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty impressive.
I think that era formed what we still live off today.
Yeah.
That made Origin what it is. It could have just been another flop or another game, but that made that era, that 1980 to 1990.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously beyond, but that really
What
made Origin
is, yeah.
gave it the soul that it still has today.
Yeah, so he had 9 series wins. The guys I had 2 other guys. I had Jonathan Thurston. He played 37 games. He had 10 series wins. But the man I just mentioned before, when you look at Mr. Cameron Smith, he won 11 series. Right? 26 wins, 16
Well,
wins. The guy was phenomenal.
A lot of people don't realise, and I went to Lang Park or Suncorp Stadium late last year, and there's a few statues at the front. There's not just one,
Oh, okay.
but there's one in the middle.
Yeah.
There's one main one, and that's Wally.
Yeah.
There's 3 others on the sides.
Who
There's
are the
Mao. There's off the top of my head, there was Mao. I think there was Cameron Smith. One of them had big ears, so it had to be Thurston. I can't really remember, but Wally is the one.
Yeah.
He's the one. Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's the iconic one.
Yeah.
So that was the 3 Queensland ones, right? Now, I looked at New South Wales, right? And this is embarrassing because these guys played over 30, 40 games, right? There was only one guy. Brad Fittler played 31 games. He's the most.
Yeah.
And he won 5 series, right? So
Wow.
he's probably the most influential, right? And then followed by that, we've got Andrew Johns. He had 4 series wins.
He had one game that stands out for me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, no, I thought he played well.
No, but there was one that we all remember.
Yeah.
05.
Hooker, yeah.
Well, guess what? You know, he played on the bench quite a few times. He had Tuvey playing. He played hooker when Tuvey was at half.
No, but it's funny because he's an immortal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet
New South
during
Wales.
his career, he couldn't even play halfback for New
Exactly.
South Wales or Australia. It was Tuvey or it was Brett Kamali.
Exactly. So
He was playing hooker.
exactly. He should have been picked from the start, and we would have probably had dominated a bit more. But look at my man Sterlo. He's only won 1 series.
But how many didn't play?
Yeah, well, he
How many
missed
did
a
play?
few.
He had 6 wins and 7 losses, 13 appearances.
Yeah.
So
He missed a few.
I just mentioned 3 absolute gun players, mortals, and they had like a handful of compared to the Queensland guys I just mentioned.
He won more premierships than he did Origin games.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's why I think New South Wales, man, we've got to pick and stick more and keep
Well,
guys
the
with
first
legacies.
5 years, Queensland, the first 4 years, Queensland destroyed New South Wales. It was 85, the first win.
Yeah.
It was only 1 game for 3.
First year, wasn't it?
No, it was 3 years for 1 game. Then went to 2 games for another 2 or 3 games. And then he went to 3-game series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, mate, I'm hoping 2003 repeats, but in reverse. We get
Yeah.
flogged this year, and then next year we get a bit of a
Let's
roll
hope so.
going and we win. So,
Let's hope so. Let's
my
move
hope.
into Crystal Ball. Full round this week, assuming Origin players will back up.
do you want to give a prediction on the Origin score?
Um,
The crystal ball as well? Because we never
I think
gave prediction.
Queensland 22-10.
22-10 Queensland? What's your choice?
14-10.
14-10?
Queensland,
Queensland?
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to go clean sweepy. I think we're all going to go Queensland.
This the
Score, Artie?
the medal winner.
I'm going to go 36, probably 36-10.
So we can all
Gonna
agree.
flog them.
So we can all agree New South Wales will score 2 tries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I scored 2 tries.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And Queensland are going to kick 11 field goals.
Probably.
Knights are hosting the Tigers on Friday night.
Friday night, wow.
Wow.
14th versus 17th. Interesting game, that. You'd think the Knights would win that.
They're heavy favourites.
They are, especially after their last game where they won 66-0.
Yeah.
So I'm going the Knights.
Go Ponga.
George?
The
Ponga?
Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go Ponga.
Yeah, I think I'll go the Knights as well. They're at home too.
Mm.
Bulldogs at Belmore Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock against the Broncos.
Long afternoon.
Tough day at the office, but a spiritual home ground.
Spiritual
Reynolds'
home ground.
farewell.
Reynolds'
Can they
farewell.
lift and do something special, George?
No.
That was pretty emphatic.
No, they can't. Broncos, if they're all back, and
They'll be a bit flat after an Origin game. They're going to be a bit
Reckon?
flat, I think, the Broncos. You never know.
you know what? Even without their Origin players, I think they'll be too good.
Yeah.
They're a top 4 team. I hope Canterbury fights, and if they fight, I've got no problem.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. Ooh, next game.
Yeah, I think Broncos, man, surely.
Seagulls Cowboys. Manly hosting the Cowboys.
Now remember what happened last year. The Cowboys won the last minute. They scored. They scored 3 tries in 5 minutes or something to win.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Nicola? The Cowboys are flying, and
Yeah.
they've got to keep on winning to make the 8. because they're just outside the 8.
Yeah, Manly haven't convinced me yet.
Yeah.
No, and I think this will be the final nail in Manly's coffin, and they'll put them away.
Artie?
Their last game was good. Manly came back and won in the end.
It
but,
was good,
but
actually. It
Cowboys,
was good.
yeah, I think Cowboys just get it.
Roosters are hosting the Storm. If they're ever going to come good, it has to be now.
They're getting a couple of troops back from memory. Brendan Smith played a full game in reserve grade and looked pretty good. He's
Yeah.
trimmed down a little bit, so Brandon Smith will be back, which will be good. Storm weren't that good against Penrith last time. They leaked 30 points in the back end. So
Brandon Smith had a shocker against his former club last time, so he'll have a point to prove
Is
if
Smith in,
selected.
but is Brandon Smith in?
We'll only
We
know
don't
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't trust the Roosters anymore. Unfortunately, they've lost it for me. So I'm going to go the Storm, especially after getting flogged. You know, Bellamy, he would have been flogged.
The game that excites me this weekend is the Warriors hosting the Sharks.
Cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Absolute
expecting a
cracker.
really good game there.
Sunday, 2:00, perfect.
Early game, 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
on
but look,
Sunday.
isn't it funny? 6th versus
Third.
third. You'd say it'd be the other way around, wouldn't you? Warriors, I think, are playing better rugby league than the Sharks. Nicola, on a cold, windy Auckland day, what do you think?
Yeah, but the Sharks are probably 2 in front, points
I'm
in front.
gonna
That's
go
the bye.
I'm going to go the Warriors.
Yeah. On a cold, windy day, I think the Warriors will, or the Cronulla will see how far away they are, and Eddinghausen might rejig the draw for next year and keep the Warriors right away from home.
Well, last time they met was only earlier in the season,
What happened?
and the Sharks were winning. And then I think in the last,
that's right.
they came back and scored 20-point comeback, and they beat him in the end with a conversion from near halfway from
This
Johnson.
is not the same Warriors team.
So Sharks will be out, but they'll be out to sort of revenge
They
that.
will be.
But in saying that, Warriors, I think, are
I
just
hope
too
so.
good.
4
Be a good
p.m.
game.
4 p.m. Saturday, the Dolphins hosting the Panthers. I think the Panthers will be too strong.
Surely, yeah.
They're playing in Redcliffe, their spiritual home ground. I would say that the Dolphins likely to just run out.
Will the Panthers rest their players?
Good question.
We won't know. We won't know.
Maybe.
We'll know tomorrow,
Maybe.
right? That would certainly change things for me.
Yeah, but maybe. You know how Ivan is. He'll rest.
And closing out the round, we have the
Penrith.
Eels
Big
hosting
Penrith.
the Gold Coast at 6:15.
What a game, Nicola, because the Titans still believe that they can make the 8. Parramatta has to get back onto the horse, and all the Origin boys are back, I'm assuming. And
Provided they don't get injured. I'll
Yeah.
tip the Eels based on I expect them to bounce back.
well, I'm hoping that will they be full strength, you think? If everybody's not injured.
Well, no, Dylan Brown's still out.
Yeah.
Micah Blake's still out. Josh Hodgson, if you ask me, that is a strength. He's out.
I noticed Walker Blake is playing in the Reggies. I saw him.
Is he
play.
back, yeah?
Yeah, I saw him playing the Reggies.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's still one or two. I mean, look, the major
80%.
players will be back. Yeah.
80%.
Aside from Dylan Brown, the major players will be back.
Well, if they're 80% at full strength,
Yeah.
I can't see any other
Well,
picture than
Gutho will
Eels.
be nice and fresh after 10 minutes or so. for
Yeah,
Origin.
if
So
that,
he'll
yeah.
be 100%.
He'll hook him, or he'll go put him on it
Last
for
10.
10 minutes and
Play prop.
prop. Yeah, prop.
Prop.
That's the one. Nicola. That's the
Who are you
one. Artie.
tipping, Artie?
Oh, yeah, I'm going Eels, but dependent on
Yeah.
the carnage. Because Big Tino's playing for they've got Tino and AJ Brimson backing
Yeah,
up. So they've
yeah.
got a
So
few
they'll be better players too.
for Tuaka. So they're two front rowers are playing this weekend. So yeah, they're going to be hit as well by Origin as well.
Thank
but
God,
Parramatta.
thank God, it's the last round of Origin affected rounds because, as you said, Adi, it just stuffs up everything, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And let's just have a quick look at this, right? With the draw, I just want to see how many teams have actually had the 3. So we've got Broncos have got one bye to go. Look at Rabbitohs. They've only had one bye.
Rabbitohs.
Wow.
Rabbitohs have had one bye.
Ooh,
And they've
that
got one this
changes
week.
everything.
And they're on 22 points.
Yeah.
So the Eddinghausen draw's doing very well, isn't it? Like they're on 26 points, but Rabbitohs haven't even had
I think
a
you're going
bye
to need
yet.
30 points this year to cement a spot.
Gee.
So Warriors play the Sharks. So look, it's only 2-point difference. They could equal them. It's going to be interesting, man.
How many buys does the Warriors have? 2. It's interesting. Eh?
So
How
Seagulls.
the Sharks? How do the Rabbitohs only have one buy?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they got one this weekend, so
Yeah.
that will bring them even.
2, okay. I hate this boy.
Yeah.
Give him nothing.
Yeah.
Better. Anyway.
George,
Here's
you
what
got
it
some
is.
tidbits for us?
Got some tidbits. Nicola.
Simi Renrandra trying the chip.
Oh, I love the intro music.
The intro.
Oh no, it's Simi Renrandra. Renrandra's away. Simi Renrandra.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Oh yes, it will. Yes.
Semi Renrandra.
Run.
Ran round ya.
Absolutely buried it. Renrandra.
Only the Kiwis can
They
do
never
that.
pronounce it the same way twice.
Only the Kiwis can do that.
Yeah.
Eh? And I want to thank the Wonder Boy for putting that together. I don't know how he did it, but I don't know where he found it. But there you go. We're following the plight of the world champions, Nicola.
Yep.
And I haven't seen a bigger ass on on a team since I saw that chick in Brazil, mate. Two forward passes and an intercept ensured the victory against the Warrington team, mate. 2024.
Wow.
St Helens won 24-20, yeah. Duffy absolutely carved them up.
Oh, really?
Absolutely ripped them apart. You know, isn't it funny when he's on? He's on.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle him. But like I said...
But then he let in the other 26 points, probably.
Well, he wasn't there for the intercept and the two forward passes, but they got away with it again. Oh, bloody bastard, I don't know how they do it. Wakefield, they said they wouldn't win the game, mate. They beat Wigan on the bill 27-26.
Wow.
Wigan. They beat Wigan.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I still think they're the best team in the comp. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Our team, Nicola, went to Castleford and beat Castleford.
Lee Leopards.
Lee Leopards, mate. They beat the Castleford 34-16.
They're doing all right.
What's the hooker like?
Who?
The hooker from Lee Leopards, the Papua New Guinean.
He's very good.
Well, Saints.
Yeah, he's very
Flano
good.
wants him hard.
He's very good.
They're doing well.
He's very good. They've got the Lee Leopards. Have got mostly English players. They've obviously got the son of the coach, which is the Papa.
Kubaro, so they're a Kubaro club, but they.
And they've got a Papa because I forget the name of the coach now because he's a Papua New Guinean coach.
Oh.
They've got Papua New Guinean players, but that guy you're talking about,
yeah.
he's very good.
Because we work with Flanagan. Flanagan had the PNG team in the World Cup.
Well, I saw that game.
Yeah.
I saw that game, and he ripped Castleford apart.
Yeah.
The hooker. So he's very good. So yeah, he's good. Good value. Nicola at Pepion, Castleford went down. Catalans went down to Huntersfield, 22-14, which is a shock. Salford 14, Leeds 16. So that was a bit of a boil over.
Jeez.
But the local derby, Nicola, the local derby and the two fans which don't like each other at all over the river. Hull KR played Hull FC, and the FC beat the KR team 16-6, and they don't like each other, Nicola. I'll tell you now, I saw the game. Yeah. They don't like each other. The standings in Super League, still Catalans 26, Nicola. Our team, Lee Leopards coming second.
They're doing so good.
24.
That's the jersey, mate.
And in a couple of weeks, we're playing the Challenge Cup, Nicola. We're playing against St Helens for the right to play in the final.
I forget
Oh, wow.
watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we might be getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning and watching the
Have to
cup
get up for
final.
that one.
I don't know how they've done it, but St Helens come in third, Nicola, 22. I've got no idea. They haven't played well all year, I'm telling you now. Wigan, 22, which I still think is the best team in the comp. Warrington falling down to 22. And Salford just in the final 6, 20. So look, it's a very tight competition. Catalans probably 2 points ahead, and they'll probably grab them on a premiership. But it's actually interesting watching it when I watch it. Did you watch the netball final, Nicola?
I can't say that I did.
You did. Well, Adelaide Thunderbirds broke a 10-year drought, Nicola, and beat the Sydney Swifts. And it was a great game, 60-59.
Wow.
I actually enjoyed it. I love a contest. We spoke about the cricket.
Mm-hmm.
Australia,
Yeah,
don't watch
I'm
the cricket.
not a
either.
cricket
I'm
fan,
going to
no.
skip that. I'll skip that. The player in profile, Nico, on Adi's request.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Slippery
Slippery
Morris.
Slippery Morris. Yeah.
Now, if I'm right, he's probably just a bit before your time.
I'll
Or do
tell
you
you how.
remember Do you remember
I'll tell
it?
you how I remember Slippery Morris.
Yeah.
There used to be a nightclub in Penrith called Reactor One, downstairs at Panthers. We're talking 95, 96. That's where I actually met the guy.
No.
He used to hang out with us in the corner for a little while and just get tanked.
Slippery Morris. Steve
And that's
Slippery
where
Morris.
I found out who he was.
Steve Slippery Morris.
Yeah, he was before my time, but I got to know
Wow.
him a little bit at Panthers.
Okay.
And then he disappeared. I don't know, maybe his wife found out he was coming out.
Maybe.
But for maybe 5 or 6 weeks, he was hanging out with us every week in the corner down there.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Steve Slippery Morris.
You don't remember him playing?
No, just before
before you,
me, yeah.
Well, he was a Dapto Junior, Nicola, Dapto Canary Junior. He played for the country team 1978, mate.
Yeah.
He got selected for the New South Wales team from the country team. And that same year, he got selected for the Australian team. So the year after...
Was that as a halfback? Yeah. He
That's
was
how
halfback.
it used to be.
Halfback,
You play city, country, then you play Origin, then you play Australia.
But he wasn't like played in the country. He played for Dapto Canaries, and he made the country team. Then he played against City, and he made the New South Wales team. And then from the New South Wales team, he made the Australian team.
Wow.
That's how it used to be.
So it's pretty good.
Phenomenal player.
The year after, Nicola, St. George got his signature.
Yeah.
And that year, as we know, 79 rings a bell.
I think, was he playing for him in 84, 85?
Yes.
Yes.
I
No,
just,
no. Yes,
I
yes,
just
yes.
remember him. I just
He
remember
was
him.
playing on the wing then.
Just, yeah.
79,
No.
he was playing on the
Wasn't
wing
he?
there.
Oh, was he on the wing?
On the wing then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he played in the grand final that year and won the grand final, and he got the Clive Churchill medal the year.
Which year?
79.
79.
Oh, okay.
So St. George signed him the next year.
Okay, yeah.
And he got the Clive Churchill medal. It's, 84, Nicola, Roy Masters came to the club and showed him the wing.
Yeah.
And good he did, because he won Dalian Winger of the Year and the top try scorer that season. So strength to strength. That 87, he decided to make a move, Nicola. He broke Ari's heart, I'm sure.
No, mate. You know what happened? I heard St. George didn't want to renew his contract, so he was out, and East picked him up, and that's why I went for South Roosters. That's why I'm a bit of a Roosters fan, because then the Roosters threw a lifeline in.
Okay.
He went there.
For those who don't know as well, he's the father of the Morris twins.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Yeah, 87, Nicola. He made a move to the Roosters, and once again he got the Dalian Winger of the Year.
Wow.
So strength for strength. The teams he played for, Nicola, was, as we know, the Saints. Probably the most famous, or his best player, you reckon, at the Saints. Yeah. He played for Reese for a few years. He's played a few clubs in England. He played for Warrington. He played for Salford and Leeds. And I think he made the Challenge Cup final with Warrington. He lost, but and as we know, he's got two famous sons, twins, Josh and who?
Brett.
I had to think about that too.
Josh and Brett. But I remember Slippery Morris very well, because that's when Canterbury had a good team, and we had a good halfback as well, as you know, Steve Mortimer. Yeah. And it was you can say it was a battle.
He was in the Dragons team you beat in the 85 grand final, right? Was he?
The Dragons team. Yeah. Well,
Mortimer was playing the
No,
but
but
he
he
was-
Morris in the Dragons
on the
team.
wing.
Yeah.
Be on the wing, but on the wing,
Yeah.
And I remember, as you know, Mortimer was a chip and chase merchant.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so was Slippery.
Yeah.
And I think Slippery was quicker than.
They both had
I-
a race. I remember they had a
Who
race.
won?
I don't know. It was very tight, but I remember I saw on the news they both had a. I think Slippery Morris might have won. Yeah.
Slippery
Good
was
old Turby.
Slippery. He wasn't a Turby. They both weren't ball players, but they tried to be ball players. But at that time, the defensive line would move up staggered, and if either of them, and we're talking about now Steve Morris, if Steve Morris,
We're talking about 5 meters too, not 10.
yeah, 5 meters, and if Steve Morris saw someone just a little bit ahead of the other person, he just shot through the line.
They didn't call him Slippery for nothing.
Exactly.
It was exciting. It was exciting to watch.
He was
until he touched the
but
ball.
mate, every game the chip was on. You'll be waiting for the chip, if I can remember. He had a kicking game too, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had a long
Yeah.
kicking game.
Yeah, he could kick.
Kick game, and he had help, because if I remember, the hooker was
Tony Trudgett?
Was it Trudgett the hooker? That was the 5'8",
That was
wasn't he?
5'8".
Yeah, Tony
Stephen
Crunch.
Edge. I know Stephen Edge was
Edge,
there
yeah.
once.
He had Edge on the inside before he went to Parramatta.
Edge went to Para in 81.
81. Okay.
Oh, so 71 grand final, he won with Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when we say so. Look, it was exciting. I used to love watching him. He would. My hairs on my back would stand up every time
Yeah.
I'd see him, and anytime he went for that chip and chase, you'd be shitting yourself because you knew the ball just kept on coming back to him. You know what I mean? And how many times? Tell me, how many times did you see Mortimer give him a cover tackle like he used to, and the other way around?
Yeah.
Slippery giving
Yeah.
Mortimer
That
a
was
covering
fantastic,
tackle.
yeah.
So they were just battle royales, those games, just
Yeah.
battle royales. And it's a shame that he went on the wing. But when he went on the wing, who went into half?
I can't remember
Haddock?
now.
Perry Haddock?
Maybe, but yeah, it was weird. It wasn't.
Trying to think.
Did he have too many injuries or something? That's why I put him there. There was a reason for it. There
Was there?
Yeah, because he was playing well, but
Well, he
there
got
was something.
He got Dalian Winger of the Year and top try scorer, 84. And when he went to the Roosters, he got the same thing. So,
fantastic.
but anyway, exciting as they come, Nicola. And we've got, of course, the song of the week. New segment. Okay. This one is because it's your birthday, Nicola.
Yeah.
We've done Ari last week, and we'll readdress Ari because that's not his favourite bands.
Okay.
We're coming to you, and it's your favourite band with a twist.
Has to be Kiss.
Of course, it's Kiss, but it's a twist. It's probably a song that probably wouldn't be on the top of your list, but obviously on the top of my list. Sure Know Something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dynasty album.
Dynasty. Tell us,
1979.
can you tell me about the Dynasty album? Because it was a little bit out of character for Kiss back then.
So Kiss, how much do you want to know?
Just the album.
How much battery have we got in the camera?
Just that album. Just that album,
Okay.
Nicola.
I mean, between 1974 and 1978, you had Kiss, Dress to Kill, Hotter Than Hell, Kiss Alive, Destroyer, Love Gun, Rock and Roll Over. This is in a 4-year period.
And this would be fair to say they're a hard rock records.
Yeah, Kiss Alive 2, Double Platinum came out in 78. That's in a 4-year period. How many albums released? How many bands released that many albums in a 4-year period? Then they took a break in 77, and they all did solo albums in 78. And 79 was where they came back together to record. So there'd been a bit of a break. And the disco era had kicked in by that point, and that played a big influence on that album. They brought in Vinny Poncia as a producer, and he had that, that I Was Made for Loving You.
And
Favourite-
I Was
one
Made
of
on
my
Loving You was on this album.
Yes.
Yeah, top song.
Sure Know Something was a great song. It was a bit of a Paul Stanley album. And that's more his style. Look, it's not one of my favourite albums. I like the harder stuff that's a bit earlier.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's one of my favourite songs.
There were 3 albums in that period. Dynasty and Unmasked are very similar.
Great records.
Very similar. They could be the same album. Then you had The Elder in 81, which was horrible. And then Creatures of the Night in 82 was where they got their balls back.
Great records. Yeah.
But yeah, Dynasty, I mean, obviously, Sure Know Something was a minor hit, I think. I Was
a
Made
hit in
for Loving
Australia.
You was the big one.
Must have been a hit in Australia. Huh?
Yeah. But I'll tell you something. It wasn't Peter Criss who played the drums on that album. It was Anton Fig, who was the drummer on the David Letterman band for all those years.
Oh,
There you
well.
go.
He played drums on Unmasked and Dynasty, or the other way around, sorry. Dynasty and Unmasked.
Was there a reason? That he just
Yeah, Peter was
out
on
of
the way
favour?
out. Peter was on the way out. And so when they did their solo albums, Vinny Poncia produced Peter's solo album. So when they got back together and made Dynasty in 79, or Dynasty, they decided to bring in Vinny Poncia to show Peter that we're going to use your producer to try and placate Peter, who was becoming a handful at that point. And it was actually Vinny that decided Peter's not good enough to play on this album. Because his drumming had deteriorated. He was so heavy into the drugs. He had a car accident which stuffed up his shoulder. He punched a mirror and destroyed his hand, which had to have surgery. He was just being an idiot.
For a drummer, that's no good. Without a hand.
So he actually didn't play on either one of those 2 albums, Unmasked or Dynasty.
So at the end of the pod, we'll get the Superboy to play Sure Know Something.
It's a great song.
Great song. One
Great
of my
song.
favourites.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite albums. That's
Great
why.
song.
That's why I said the twist. Because he would have probably liked any other song bar that one.
And Gene Simmons didn't play bass on I Was Made for Loving You. Ace really did.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. They all hate playing that song live. It's like, they hate it. But, you know, they have to do it.
But it's a feature song in,
They have
in
to
the,
do it, yeah.
in the concerts.
Yeah.
We've seen them twice now.
Anything else you want to know?
No, that's more than enough. I just wanted the record sold 4 million copies. That's all I wanted to know. But there you go. More information that we dealt for there.
Yeah.
And we'll get the, like I said, we'll get the Wonder Boy.
I had to give you the lead up, which led to the change in musical style.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get the Wonder Boy to put it at the end, and people can hear.
I look
Shaun
forward to
knows
hearing
something.
it. Not like I haven't heard it 300,000 times already.
Great record.
Yeah.
I'm done, mate. I'm done.
Alrighty.
All right, that's it. So 2 nights away from Origin. Can't wait for it. I'm sure they'll have plenty to talk about. So next week we're going back to Wednesday night. Now,
I'll be away for
Arthur,
the next couple of
you're going
weeks.
to be away for the next couple of weeks because you're going on a scouting mission.
Yeah, I'm going to Hawaii, going on a scouting mission there, looking for. We need an around the
Halfbacks.
grounds. We
Yeah.
need to go
Around
for the
the
around the
grounds,
grounds.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, we've
So
had Stavros now. We've had Sachin, so I'm going to go looking for
Another
around the
one.
ground, another
No,
guy to add to our.
maybe Hawaiian.
Yeah, Hawaiian. Yeah, I
Hawaiian
think
guy.
so.
Have,
That's the way to go.
Have a wonderful time, mate. We'll
Thanks,
miss you.
mate.
It's not going to be the same without you sitting here.
No.
That's sure.
strange.
I'll be
That's
listening to
strange.
you from Hawaii.
We
that's
might
for sure.
see if we can get a guest to pop in and join us for one night. We'll see.
There you go.
Maybe.
But yeah.
He'll be
Oh,
back.
no,
For,
thanks,
he'll
guys.
be back for the 50th, but
There you
Yeah,
go.
50th episode. Not far away now. 3 episodes away. So, yeah, have an awesome time,
Thanks,
Arnie.
mate. Thank you. That'd be great.
And if you have anything you want us to say, just send us an
I
email.
will. I'll send you
Right,
a
send us a
text.
text.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
text
yeah.
me. Yeah,
I'll send you the spam mail just so you can.
Yes, sure.
I'll send this.
that'll be fun.
And that's it. That's a wrap.
That's
worries.
it. Done again.
Thanks, boys. Have a great night. Let's all look forward to Origin.
That's
Happy
it.
everyone
Go the
enjoys it.
Blues. Go the Blues.
Go
Go
the
the
Blues
Blues.
and happy rugby league, everybody.
Happy
Good night.
rugby league.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.